Chapter 304. I don't know where you get your confidence from. Warhammer looked at Li Fan as if he was looking at a dead man, as if he didn't take Li Fan's words to heart at all. However, Li Fan kicked off with one leg and suddenly jumped down from the air. Good. Warhammer didn't panic and kicked his metal box. A long staff popped out from the box and landed in Warhammer's hand. Warhammer shook the staff, and a blade popped out from it, turning into the shape of a sickle. As Li Fan landed, Warhammer's sickle met him head-on. Li Fan's body spun in the air, and his right leg drew a crescent arc, carrying electricity with it as he kicked the sickle away. Then, his left leg spun again and kicked Warhammer's neck. Warhammer's body was sent spinning by Li Fan's kick, and he crashed into a nearby tree, breaking the trunk. Warhammer's body fell down, but Li Fan had somehow appeared under him. At the same time, Li Fan raised his right leg high, and the sole of his foot pushed Warhammer's body up into the air. Warhammer had a bad premonition. He reached out to grab Li Fan's neck, as if he was going to snap Li Fan's neck. Warhammer's body was very strong. He weighed 100 kilograms and had muscles that could kill. However, Li Fan's movements were faster. He suddenly swung his right leg, carrying electricity with it, and kicked Warhammer's body to the ground. Bang! A crater appeared on the ground. Not only did Warhammer feel dizzy from the impact, but he also spat out a mouthful of blood. At the same time, his body was continuously electrocuted, causing him to twitch. Warhammer temporarily lost the ability to move. Li Fan raised 3 fingers and said again. I said, you will lose within 3 moves. He stretched out his right leg and pressed it against Warhammer's neck. Although Warhammer's neck was protected by the armor, as long as Li Fan exerted force, his neck would be snapped. However, Warhammer did not panic. He simply extended his hand and pressed a fingerprint switch on his body. The blue light on his chest immediately turned red and began to flicker rapidly. What do you mean? Li Fan had a bad feeling about this. Within a minute, everything within a kilometer radius of me will be razed to the ground. Warhammer said with a smile, you can still make it if you run now. 55, 54, 53. Li Fan did not hesitate. He immediately jumped into the wooden hut, took off the clothes of a bandit, and put them on Huang Lei. Then, he carried him on his back and ran. 1 minute was more than enough time for Li Fan. Within a radius of 1,000 meters, the entire island would be blown away. Li Fan moved quickly. Without any hesitation, he left the island and landed on the river. Before leaving the island, Li Fan casually broke off a large branch and held it in his hand. Every time he ran about 100 meters on the water, he would throw a branch into the water. Then, he would step on the swaying branch and move forward another 100 meters. After repeating this a dozen times, Li Fan landed on the opposite shore. After Li Fan left the island, Warhammer reached out his hand and deactivated the self-destruct device on his body. With this self-destruct ability, Li Fan should not be able to get close to the island again. He really did not expect that he would fail this mission. Martial fighter, huh? Interesting. Warhammer smiled and slowly sat up. A few pieces of the armor on his body fell to the ground. However, I have never failed a mission. Next time, I will definitely take your head. He looked at the dark river in the distance and said coldly. The rain became heavier. Li Fan sent Huang Lei back to the billiard hall overnight. It's not peaceful recently. Don't go out too much. After putting Huang Lei down, Li Fan told him. Big brother, who wants to mess with us? When Huang Lei thought of the scene on the island, he felt some lingering fear. Even a single soldier armor, this kind of black technology, has appeared. The other party is definitely not easy to deal with. I don't know about this. Li Fan is also not clear about the other party's identity, but they don't come with good intentions. We just have to be careful. Big brother. I can't stay here. Huang Lei now has some money. If he were to stay in the billiard hall every day, he would definitely suffocate to death. Can't you change the method? How about you find me a bath center in Jianggan district? I can also stay there. Stay your sister. Li Fan slapped Huang Lei's forehead. Stop it for me. What time is it now? Still thinking about prostitution? This is not about prostitution. Big brother, you are still young. You don't understand. Huang Lei covered his red and swollen forehead and explained, I saw a technician in a bath center. That big butt, that thick waist, don't even mention how attractive it is. Li Fan was speechless. This guy's aesthetic is already at the alien level. Big brother, really, you don't understand the charm of this kind of woman. This kind of sensuality, this kind of taste, tsk. Fuck off. If you say any more useless words, I will slap you to death. Li Fan felt that it is time to correct Huang Lei's worldview. Can you be like a normal man and like some beautiful women? Big brother, although you are the big brother, I really have to say this. Unexpectedly, Huang Lei said seriously, everyone's concept of beauty is different. Big brother's beauty may be another kind, but my beauty is the beauty of the Tang dynasty. So, big brother, I am retro. Retro my ass. Li Fan had an urge to kill. In short, you better behave for the next few days and control the thing in your crotch. Otherwise, I will castrate you. No, big brother, our family still has no roots. Huang Lei quickly begged, my family has only one son for 3 generations, please don't let it end with me. Then you better behave. Don't make me worry. Li Fan said, if they use your body to lure me out next time, I will really be at my wit's end. It is important to smash the cannon, but if you are dead, the cannon can't do anything, understand? Yes, big brother is right, then I will bear with it. Can you bear it? Li Fan was somewhat confused. It's okay, if I really can't bear it, I like the chihuahua in the noodle shop next door. Fuck off. Big brother, what are you thinking? Huang Lei quickly explained, I mean, if I really can't bear it, I will play with the puppy to pass the time. Anyway, for the next few days, you can't smash the cannon or play with the puppy, understand? Understood. Huang Lei was still very obedient in front of Li Fan. Since his big brother had spoken, he could only follow orders. But how should he spend the next few days? It seemed that he had to pamper his dear 5th young lady again. Li Fan reminded Huang Lei a few more times, and specially went to look for Guan Wenbao, asking him to keep an eye on Huang Lei, before he went home with a peace of mind. Chapter 305. Storm. Lu Xinan sat opposite Li Fan, stretching out her long legs and gently placed them on Li Fan's knee. In order to investigate the hooded man, Warhammer, Li Fan found Lu Xinan, who should have the most authority in this area. But Lu Xinan called him to a coffee shop. There was no one else in this coffee shop except for the two of them. Today, Lu Xinan was dressed a bit wild. She was wearing a white shirt with a small vest and a pair of denim shorts, revealing her long legs. Isn't she cold in this cold weather? Women were really creatures with powerful combat abilities. This organization. How did you get involved with them? Lu Xinan put her leg on Li Fan's knee and asked while stirring the coffee in the cup. I don't know, what's wrong with this organization? Li Fan tried to move Lu Xinan's leg away, but Lu Xinan put her leg back. Li Fan was too lazy to tease her leg, so he focused on Storm. This organization is not easy to deal with. You should know their name, Storm. What the hell is that? Do you know about mercenaries? Lu Xinan asked. I've heard of them. Li Fan nodded, they are people who collect money to fight. Yes, that's a good summary. As expected of the man I like. Lu Xinan smiled sweetly and winked at Li Fan. Damn, this girl, can't she be more serious? There are big and small mercenary organizations. Those small mercenaries are struggling on the line of life and death every day. Some of the larger mercenary organizations were basically tyrannical in the international arena. Even some countries will hire them privately. Storm is such an arrogant organization. Sounds like it's pretty powerful. They're more than powerful. There's no mission they can't complete. Lu Xinan was a little worried. They were once hired to destroy a country, and they did it. Fuck. Who found such a powerful organization to deal with me? Li Fan muttered to himself. He had quite a few enemies. He glanced sideways at Lu Xinan. Don't tell me it's Yang Ruining from your hometown. It is indeed possible. Yang Ruining has the financial resources to hire them. Lu Xinan did not explain, if the storm really wants to deal with you, you really have to be careful. To be able to escape from Storm's clutches, you're quite impressive. However, if you meet that Pandora hunter, Warhammer, you're probably dead meat. I just gave him a good beating. Li Fan blinked his eyes and said, he is quite sturdy. Huh? When Lu Xinan heard this, she was taken aback and was stunned. Are you sure? Are you kidding me? How could I be wrong? Li Fan stretched his muscles and bones. This kid was wearing some kind of single soldier battle armor, and he even had a strange box. It was quite tricky, but I still managed to deal with him. It's good to stretch my muscles. Lu Xinan was stunned for a moment. After a long time, she said, his equipment is called Pandora's Combat Kit. Especially his box, which is called Pandora's Box. It is said that there are 99 weapons inside. None of the prey that he has set his eyes on have survived until now. His equipment is indeed powerful, but I'm not afraid of him. But it's not a good idea to always be targeted by Storm. I'm going to attack the root of the problem and deal with them. Li Fan said confidently. No, they're a bit far away. It's okay. I'm fast. Li Fan patted his chest. It's called Godly Tai Bao. I'm not afraid no matter how far they are. Tell me, where are they? I'll go meet them. The Republic of Congo. Then, let's talk about our business. Li Fan coughed dryly. How's the progress on your side? I've made some breakthroughs. Lu Xinan took out a stack of documents and placed it in front of him. This is quite interesting. There seems to be a bunch of numbers hidden inside. Now that I look at it, it seems to be a set of coordinates. As long as we can confirm the coordinates, we'll be able to find the location of the dragon's lair. That's good, I'll wait for your news. Li Fan tried to remove Lu Xinan's leg but failed again. This woman was very persistent. Speaking of which, something happened recently. Lu Xinan's gaze fell on Li Fan, sizing him up. Li Fan felt a little uneasy. The people from the yellow uniform group seem to have been beaten up by someone called Little Tyrant. Are you talking about the incident at the hospital? Li Fan secretly heaved a sigh of relief. So she wasn't talking about the incident where he instigated a fight between the Yellow Uniform Regiment and Vanguard. Speaking of which, Fu Fan should be a member of the Red Dragon Society. Then did he get Lu Xinan's permission for him to do this? Then they can only blame themselves for asking for a beating. Li Fan didn't hide anything and said straightforwardly, handing out human lives in the hospital, me beating them up is considered a light punishment. Why, the Yellow Uniform Regiment is somewhat related to you. Don't tell me you're here to settle the score with me. No, I haven't been on good terms with the Yellow Uniform Regiment recently anyway. Lu Xinan laughed bitterly. Now the Yellow Uniform Regiment and Vanguard are trying to take me down. Isn't the Red Dragon Society doing quite well? Are you afraid of them? It's hard for one family to dominate. Although Lu Xinan said so, her eyes were filled with ambition. But the Red Dragon Society has been around for so many years, how can we be suppressed by the two of them? If someone wants to mess with me, Lu Xinan, I'll make them pay the price. As for the Yellow Uniform Regiment, although they have a lot of people, they're still a motley crew. You've seen for yourself what they earn, it's not even worth mentioning. So you're saying that you still want to wipe out the Yellow Uniform Regiment and Vanguard? Li Fan said, no wonder the Yellow Uniform Regiment and Vanguard are working together. I didn't say that, you're just making wild guesses. Lu Xinan smiled slyly, causing Li Fan to look down on her. Anyway, you can teach the Yellow Uniform Regiment a lesson. But Wang Baiqiang is a very petty person, you have to be careful. He'll definitely think of a way to take revenge on you. When that happens, I might not be able to help you. That doesn't sound like something Miss Lu would say. I'm very busy now, okay? Lu Xinan rolled her eyes. Besides, you're so powerful, you should be the one helping me, okay? But if you can be my boyfriend, no one in the entire city will dare to touch you. Lu Xinan looked at Li Fan very seriously and said such a sentence, causing Li Fan to be stunned. Miss Lu, you're not joking, right? Chapter 306. Look at me. Do I look like I'm joking? Lu Xinan looked at Li Fan very seriously. Li Fan's words almost angered her to death. Yes. Yes, your ass. Lu Xinan glared at Li Fan fiercely. Li Fan felt that she seemed to be very angry. Come on, you're the daughter of a rich family. Li Fan reminded Lu Xinan, don't make this kind of joke. What if I accidentally take it seriously? How do you know that I'm not serious? Lu Xinan rolled her eyes, do you think I'm not good enough for you? Damn, how can you be so smart? You guessed it right away. Li Fan clapped his hands and said excitedly, you're really impressive. You're such a bad person. How can you compare with such a pure and kind brother like me? Bah! Lu Xinan spat fiercely. She would be a ghost if she believed Li Fan. I don't care. Anyway, you're going to see my dad with me soon. Damn, why do you want to see your dad? Li Fan was not interested in old men. He was even less interested in seeing an old man. I told my dad that you're my boyfriend. He asked me to take you home to have a meal with me these 2 days. Lu Xinan said casually while trimming her fingernails. Damn, what did you say? Li Fan almost jumped up, are you kidding me? Why would I joke with you? I'm not a crosstalk comedian. Lu Xinan rolled her eyes fiercely. She was very dissatisfied with Li Fan's attitude. I, Lu Xinan, am a big sister in a city. The number of people chasing after me can line up all the way to the neighboring town. If you don't do it now, it'll be too late. Let me tell you, if you miss this village, you won't get another chance. I'm not a Japanese. I won't enter the village. Li Fan shook his head and said, so, you can't threaten me. Li Fan, we're business partners. Do you want me to be embarrassed? Lu Xinan was anxious. You should have said so earlier. Li Fan clapped his hands, it's just pretending to be your boyfriend. It's not like I haven't helped you before. Last time, I beat him. Will it be the same this time? Same your sister. This time, it's my dad. If you want to beat up my dad, I'll fight it out with you. When Lu Xinan talked about her father, there was a hint of gentleness in her eyes. My father has doted on me since I was young. Now that he's sick, it's time for me to be filial to him. Fan thought, if you don't go out and make trouble, your dad will pray to Buddha. Lu Xinan, this girl. She's obviously a girl, but she doesn't look like a girl at all. She's an arrogant, narcissistic woman. To her, the word lady is just a fantasy. So, my dad is looking for a son-in-law. You fit the criteria. Please, I'm not going to be a son-in-law. Li Fan emphasized again, I have a name and I rely on my own hands and feet to make a living. Why would I want to be a son-in-law? But you ruined my marriage. Lu Xinan stared at Li Fan with a pair of beautiful big eyes, you have to take responsibility. Fuck. Li Fan felt that he was wronged. You're the one who told me to beat him up, okay? I don't care. I only told you to beat him up. I didn't tell you to ruin our marriage. Lu Xinan shrugged her shoulders and said shamelessly, in short, you have to take responsibility for what you've done. Otherwise, when you give birth to a child, you won't have an ass. Fuck me, Li Fan really had to give it to this Lu Xinnan. She's simply a female devil. She's out to squeeze out his remaining value. If your son doesn't become a Pishio, you have to take responsibility, my dear. Lu Xinnan said and forcefully ordered Li Fan, tomorrow night, I'll send a car to your house to pick you up. Remember to dress up nicely. You think I'm picking up a bride? More or less. I can send a betrothal gift. Lu Xinnan said, picked up her handbag, and stood up. Her pair of long legs were even more eye-catching. Then I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye. With that, Lu Xinnan waved at Li Fan, turned around, and walked out of the shop with her pair of long legs. 2 bodyguards were waiting outside. They opened the door for Lu Xinnan and then opened the car door. Li Fan greedily looked at Lu Xinnan's perky but a few more times. This woman, sometimes, he felt that she was especially like a drug. This woman would have feelings for him. To be honest, Li Fan didn't quite believe it. She, Lu Xinnan, had been in the underworld for so many years. What kind of man hadn't she seen? Why would she be interested in a young boy? Li Fan had a big doubt in his mind. However, she had undoubtedly been trying to conquer him. This made Li Fan a little annoyed. Especially when she was going to pick him up tomorrow. Fuck, wouldn't that be waiting to fight with Muronging? And Muronging was a woman who stuck to the rules. Her rule was that she couldn't take the initiative to attack ordinary people. Lu Xinnan didn't know any martial arts, so Muronging definitely wouldn't use force on her. In this way, the one who would be at a disadvantage would be Muronging. Well, there was going to be a good show tomorrow. However, Lu Xinnan's butt was really beautiful. Women are the most difficult to deal with, aren't they? Fuck. Li Fan stood up and raised his fists. This was almost his subconscious reaction. Heartless Saber, Yushi, was dressed in black and sat opposite him. Yushi's dressing had always been the same. She was always wearing the black vest of the Brocade Clan Guard uniform with the golden edges. When did you come? This woman, why was she always appearing and disappearing like a ghost? I've been here for a while. Yushi gently raised the teacup with one finger, as if she was playing. It's just that you're too busy looking at her but... Li Fan was very speechless. He couldn't refute what she said. At the end of the day, you're also an ordinary man. Yushi smiled. To think that I thought you were different. Your nature is still the same. This is called a man's nature. Li Fan crossed his arms and placed his feet on the sofa beside Yushi. Why did you come looking for me when I'm such a natural man? Have you thought it through and come to kill me? Why do you always think of others so badly? It's you guys who went too far. Li Fan was filled with anger when he thought about it. You actually attacked an ordinary woman. I will definitely take revenge. I didn't know about this. And I can't control what the commander-in-chief wants to do. Yushi shrugged. You've already pissed him off. He won't let you off. And as far as I know, you've not only offended the Brocade Clan Guard. Oh. What do you mean? The infamous Storm mercenaries have their eyes on you. Chapter 307. Is this the so-called good news doesn't go out, but bad news travels 1,000 miles? In just a few days, even Yushi of the Brock Uniform Guard knew about this. Your Brock Uniform Guard's intelligence network is really good, you even know about this? Of course, we've been around for hundreds of years, our intelligence network is very large. Yushi didn't deny this, otherwise, why do you think we can always find you in the vast sea of people? Then I'd rather your intelligence department not be so good. Li Fan curled his lips. The organization he hated the most was the Brock Uniform Guard, and he wanted to fight them to the end. In short, I don't want you to die. Yushi said very honestly, my feelings for you haven't faded yet. If you die, I'm afraid I'll remember you for the rest of my life. This is not the best choice, so before my feelings for you fade, you must live well. Damn, you're asking for too much. Li Fan pointed to the seat beside him. If you don't want me to die, then join my camp. This, can't. Yushi directly refused. I was raised by the Brock Uniform Guard since I was young. It can be said that my life belongs to the Brock Uniform Guard. Even if I die, I can't betray the Brock Uniform Guard. You're too rigid. Li Fan began to work hard to poach people. I was born in the Brock Uniform Guard, but I don't have to die in the Brock Uniform Guard. Yushi, you're a human, you have your own thoughts, you're not a dog raised by the Brock Uniform Guard. I am a dog raised by the Brock Uniform Guard. Yushi said firmly, this life is for the Brock Uniform Guard, I will lead the soldiers until I die. Li Fan didn't know how to persuade her. It was very difficult to pry open a gap for a person like Yushi who had a strict view of the world. In her heart, she wanted to live and die with the Brock Uniform Guard, so it was useless to say anything. What's so good about the Brock Uniform Guard other than raising you? Seeing Yushi's firm attitude, Li Fan couldn't help but be a little angry. In order to deal with me, you can even kill an ordinary person. Is this kind of place really our guardian? In my opinion, the embroidered uniform guards are just a bunch of arrogant and selfish people. Li Fan, if you don't understand, I won't force you to. Yushi said in a low voice, one day, you'll understand just how important the embroidered uniform guard is. We don't see eye to eye. Perhaps, but you still have to be careful in the near future. Once you're targeted by a storm, your fate will often be very miserable. Just a few mercenaries. I don't care about them. Li Fan's momentum was like a rainbow. If one comes, I'll beat one. If two come, I'll kill both. The storm is not as easy to deal with as you think. Yushi continued to remind Li Fan. They're like mad dogs. Once they set their eyes on someone, they won't stop until they're dead. According to their habits, every time before they took action, they would send someone undercover to the target's side. Li Fan, you have to be careful. There's someone beside you. He's Storm's spy. Ah. Is that even possible? This made Li Fan shocked. There's a Storm spy beside me. That's not possible. Everyone around me is pretty good. Which one of them is Storm's spy? Huang Lei. Guan Wenbao. Yan Kai. Impossible, absolutely impossible. This is their tradition. I snuck out today to remind you of this. Yushi took another look at Li Fan. There seemed to be some affection in her eyes. With your current relationship with the embroidered uniform guard, it's not easy for me to sneak a look at you. Li Fan, you have to live up to me. With that, Yushi stood up. She didn't say anything else. She didn't look at Li Fan anymore. She took a few steps back and jumped out of the window. Yushi's qigong was really good. Every time her feet landed on the ground, there was no sound at all. It was like a gust of wind. Sigh, Yushi doesn't look like a heartless knife at all. Li Fan couldn't help but mutter. Then who is the spy beside me? Maybe Yushi made a mistake. Maybe Storm hasn't sent a spy over yet. They should think that I'll be easy to deal with. Maybe they'll send a spy to get information about me now. I must be careful of the people around me. While Li Fan was thinking, he suddenly received a strange call. Li Fan. Who are you? The voice on the phone seemed familiar, but Li Fan couldn't remember who it was. You'll be in danger soon. Be careful. The voice had a hint of calmness. Especially, be careful of the people around you. With that, the phone was hung up. Fuck. Li Fan really wanted to curse. What the hell are they doing? Are they trying to come and go with me? Is it popular to take the mysterious route now? What the fuck? Li Fan couldn't be bothered to care about these things anymore. In short, he'll deal with it when it comes. Isn't it just a storm? Can it really set off a storm in City A? Li Fan went to find a place to practice. On the other side, a black shadow knelt in front of the commander. Commander, this subordinate has found out that heartless knife Yushi of the Black Guard is secretly contacting little tyrant Li Fan. The Black Shadow belonged to a special agent in the intelligence agency. These special agents' identities were very special. They were under the command of the commander alone. They were called Shadow Guards. I got it. The commander nodded and touched his smooth chin. He seemed to be thinking about something. After losing his fertility, he seemed to be much younger. His skin became smoother and more tender. He was obviously different from the uncle from before. There seemed to be some traces of rouge on his cheeks and lips. His other hand was controlling a few flying needles. Connected to a thread, he was currently embroidering a picture of a mandarin duck on a silk cloth. The commander's minor phaseless divine art seemed to have reached the level of a god. Those flying needles seemed to have come to life. They passed through the silk cloth by themselves, causing the mandarin duck on it to become clearer and clearer. Say, do you think little tyrant will like this picture of mine? The commander did not seem to put the Shadow Guard's reminder in his ears. Instead, he muttered. He's such a man. Isn't the mandarin duck a little too delicate? The Shadow Guard was a little afraid in his heart. He hurriedly said. Commander. Yushi has been very close to Li Fan recently. Oh. You're talking about Yushi. The commander seemed to have just regained his senses. He said faintly, she's a person with a heart. However, there are some things that she shouldn't touch. Commander, then what should we do? A naughty puppy needs to be reminded. Lock her up in the pavilion of sinners and casually whip her 100 times. If you whip her too much, her tender skin will be spoiled. It truly makes one's heart ache. Yes, Commander. Then how should we deal with Li Fan? He. This sovereign has his own plans. Chapter 308. Going out again today. Muronging looked at Li Fan, who was wearing a black suit and tie, and could not help but frown. What are you going to do? Sell insurance? No. I'm going out to have a meal with a friend. According to the agreement, Lu Xinnan would come to pick him up today. But before he went out, Li Fan was still caught by Muronging. He hurriedly explained. Do you have to dress like a prostitute just to have a meal? Muronging was not a fool. She would not be coaxed by Li Fan with just a few words. As the chief of the martial arts circle, she had traveled far and wide at a young age. She visited famous mountains and rivers, and set foot in the whole of China. Although she did not know much about the affairs between men and women, she was quite experienced in the pugilistic world. Especially when she married a cunning person like Li Fan. She really had to fight with him with her wits and courage. What the fuck, how did you become a prostitute? Li Fan said that this was not even as good as selling insurance, I'm just dressed a bit more formally. Oh, having a meal with a woman? Muronging said indifferently. Like this, no one knew whether she was happy or angry, but she did not reveal it. Yes. Li Fan felt that he could not hide it anymore, so he simply admitted it. Is she beautiful? You must be joking. Li Fan immediately raised his arm and shouted, in this world, except for you, I have not found a beautiful woman. Humph, don't think that you can coax me with a few words. Although Muronging said so, she could not hide the smile on the corner of her mouth. I'm not coaxing you. These are all my thoughts. Li Fan patted his chest, if you don't believe me, you can come and see my heart. Don't say those useless things. You are not allowed to go out today. Muronging gave Li Fan a grounded order. Huh? Why? Li Fan was a little surprised. Was he starting to restrict his personal freedom? Murong will come over in 2 days, but I have to go to Mount Hua. So, for the next 2 days, help me keep Murong company at home. Huh? Li Fan almost peed his pants. What the hell? Asking him to stay and accompany Murong to make love? Could it be any more cruel? Why are you going to Mount Hua? As the Alliance Master and the Master of the Murong clan, it is only natural for me to pay a visit to the affairs of the world of martial artists. I am the leader of the world of martial artists. Muronging glanced at Li Fan. Why? Can't bear to part with me? I was just casually asking. What about Taizhu? Taizhu will stay, right? No, Taizhu will travel with me. Murong Ying's words made Li Fan fall into despair. Murong loved to be alone with him. She might as well kill him. She and Lu Xinnan were of the same nature. They were both little devils. Heavens, can't you just give me a quick death? Looking at the time, she should be here soon. Muronging looked up at the sunset outside the window. Wait for her at home. You are not allowed to go out. He would not wait for Murong to love him even if he was beaten to death. No, I have an appointment with my friends. Lu Xinnan was his business partner. Li Fan did not need to make things awkward between them. It was not a big deal to pretend to be her boyfriend. Most importantly, if he did not help Lu Xinnan this time, he did not know what kind of trouble she would cause in the future. For the sake of his future, he had to hurry up with this matter. You are not allowed to go. Muronging stopped him. Muronging, although you are my fiancé, you don't have to be so overbearing. Li Fan said unhappily. In ancient times, you are a fierce wife. Do you know that? Li Fan frowned deeply. But Muronging said calmly. I don't know if I was a fierce wife in ancient times. But in modern times, my behavior is only to prevent my man from having an affair. Fuck you, Li Fan said, if you leave me alone by Murong's side, it will be easier for her to have an affair, okay? Although Lu Xinnan often teased him, most of the time, it was just a verbal attack. That girl could not do it if she was serious. As for Murong's love, Li Fan could neither hit nor scold her. It was really annoying. You can go out if you want to, but you have to step over my dead body. Muronging blocked the door with her hands behind her back, showing her martial arts leader's style. This time, Li Fan was in a bit of a difficult situation. Although he was also at the peak of martial arts, compared to Muronging, he was still a long way behind. At the same time, in terms of martial arts attainments, the gap in strength, and the experience of fighting, Li Fan was far inferior. In the past, when Muronging fought with him, she only stopped when the time was right and let him have his way. The more powerful Li Fan trained, the more he realized the gap between him and Muronging. How about it? Do you want to compete? Muronging raised a hand and faced Li Fan. The matters of Jianghu should be settled in Jianghu. You and I are both children of Jianghu. Using force is the easiest way to solve problems. It's a civilized society now. How can we fight and kill every day? Li Fan said hurriedly, why don't we play rock paper scissors? Whoever wins is the boss. Muronging rolled her eyes. I didn't expect to see a fierce wife when I came here. At this time, a teasing voice came from outside the door. Li Fan looked over Murong-Ying's shoulder and saw Lu Xinnan getting out of a Bentley and looking at the two of them with a smile. I'm not surprised at all. This woman's words were full of teasing, which made Murong-Ying quite unhappy. Why is it you again? Miss Murong, we meet again. Your way of greeting is really unique. Lu Xinnan waved her hand and the Bentley drove away. Our family doesn't welcome you. Murong-Ying said directly. Don't worry. I won't go in either. Lu Xinnan said, I'm here to pick up Li Fan and bring him to my house. Murong-Ying's eyes fell on Li Fan, which was full of murderous aura. Dinner. We're just going to eat. Li Fan emphasized. He won't go with you. Murong-Ying immediately rejected Lu Xinnan on behalf of Li Fan. What? Are you worried that I'll abduct your man? Lu Xinnan was not impatient. Instead, she said with a smile, I really didn't expect that the dignified chief of the Wulin world doesn't even have this little bit of self-confidence. That's right. Although your martial arts is powerful and admired by thousands of people in Jianghu, as a woman, you're a failure. Nonsense, how could I be a failure? Aren't you afraid that your man will be snatched? A confident woman won't be like that. Who's afraid? Murong Ying's nerves were provoked. We're a legitimate fiancé. He loves me to death in his heart. He won't be charmed by a witch like you. Li Fan felt bitter in his heart. Who the fuck loves you to death? How could these two women stop quarreling? One was the miss of a city and the other was the chief of the Wulin world. Now they were quarreling like shrews in front of the door. Chapter 309. Demoness, don't try to sow discord between us. Murong Ying seemed to mind Lu Xinnan's words very much. She immediately retorted, our relationship is stronger than gold. You have no right to interfere. Don't hide it. You're afraid. You don't have any confidence. That's right, you're afraid. Lu Xinnan's words were like a dagger, stabbing Murong Ying's heart time and time again. Li Fan, go early and come back early. Murong Ying simply waved her hand and directly ordered, go and let this demoness see what true feelings are. Alright, Li Fan did not know what these two shrews were fighting about. It was just a matter of having a meal. Did they have to make it seem like a world war? I'll try my best to come back early. Thinking that Murong loved that girl and would come, Li Fan could not help but want to sigh. He felt exhausted all over. If that girl came, his good days would come to an end. All right. Murong Ying agreed while Lu Xinnan smiled very happily. Li Fan, a few days ago it was your birthday. I was in Los Angeles and did not have time to come back. Now that I'm back, I've brought back your birthday present. Lu Xinnan's words shocked Murong Ying. Why? Don't you know your fiancé's birthday? There was a hint of joy in Lu Xinnan's eyes. This made Murong Ying feel a little unhappy. But she could not be picky. It seems like you don't value this marriage very much. Lu Xinnan said as she took out her phone and made a call. Bring the present over. With a phone call, the roar of an engine immediately came from the side of the road. Before Li Fan turned his head to look, a blue Mustang Shelby with white flowers stopped in front of him. The sturdy and muscular body seemed to be showing off its strength. What do you think? This is my gift to you. Lu Xinnan smiled at Li Fan. Do you like it? How should I put this? I like it, but I can't accept it. Li Fan declined her kindness. Why? Lu Xinnan was a little surprised. This kind of muscle car should be every man's favorite. Because I can't drive. Li Fan grinned, but Lu Xinnan said, if you don't know, you can learn. You're so smart, I'm sure you'll learn it quickly. You can keep the car for now. Once you learn how to drive it, you can drive it. Shelby, oh, what a sight. Whether it's an escort carriage or picking up girls, you'll be able to do it easily. Li Fan felt that Lu Xinnan was like a car seller at this moment, but he understood that Lu Xinnan's pride was too strong. She couldn't accept someone rejecting her gift. It's too expensive. I really can't accept it. Li Fan waved his hand. He still had some money in his company. Although Fu Fan's 1 million hadn't arrived yet, the previous 500,000 wasn't a small amount. He couldn't afford a Mustang Shelby, but he could afford a Mustang Performance Edition. But at Li Fan's age, he didn't have much interest in cars. Miss Lu, please respect yourself. My fiancé won't accept your gift. Murong Ying said with some pride, our family isn't lacking in money. Moreover, we martial artists never rely on cars. Qinggong is enough. No matter how good a means of transportation is, it can't compare to our peerless Qinggong. A car isn't just a means of transportation. Lu Xinnan pointed out, it's also a symbol of status. Our status is earned with our fists, not with material goods. Murong Ying had the glory of a martial artist, and so did Li Fan. You two don't quarrel. I really can't accept the car. Li Fan said to Lu Xinnan, first, I don't know how to drive. Second, I prefer to use qigong. If you want to give me a gift, that's fine. Just a small gift will do. I'm happy that you have this kind of heart. Humph. Lu Xinan coldly snorted, so, you don't want this car today? No, let's hurry up and go. Li Fan looked at the time. It was getting late. Come and pick me up. Lu Xinan's words were gloomy, as if she was unhappy. Muronging was secretly pleased. This woman said that she understood men, but she didn't understand Li Fan at all. Although Li Fan was a bit stingy, he wasn't someone that could be bribed with money. Seeing that Lu Xinan was unhappy because of Li Fan, she was also happy. Missy, Mr. Li, please get in the car. The black Bentley drove over again and stopped in front of them. Get in the car. Lu Xinan said as she got into the car. Li Fan didn't want to care about her missy temper. Others might pamper her, but she didn't. The two of them got into the car, and the Bentley started up slowly. Two strong bodyguards appeared in their line of sight, carrying two sledgehammers. They took turns smashing the Shelby, turning it into scrap metal in just a few hits. You're crazy. Li Fan turned his head and looked at Lu Xinan as if she was crazy. Since you don't want it, it's trash. Lu Xinan said straightforwardly, trash has no value. What a lunatic. Li Fan felt that Lu Xinan was definitely not normal. No one has ever said that about me. Not even you. Lu Xinan looked at Li Fan angrily, I'm very, very unhappy now. Make me happy. Why? You're my boyfriend now. Making me happy is your sacred and duty-bound duty. When did I become your boyfriend? Just now. Lu Xinan reminded Li Fan, don't forget, you said that you're very loyal. Today, you pretended to be my boyfriend to help me get rid of my dad. Fuck you. But you can't take the opportunity to trick me. Are you kidding me? Who asked you to be my boyfriend? God, who am I? I'm the dignified missy of a city, Lu Xinan. Do you know how many men dream of being my boyfriend? But now you're saying this. Are you an idiot? Or are you gay? Yes, even if you're pretty and have a good family background, it doesn't mean that I have to like you. Who set this rule? Li Fan said his opinion, the girl I like must be very well behaved. Moreover, she must be the kind who likes to wear white dresses, have long hair, and be very pure and simple. Vulgar. Unbearably vulgar. Lu Xinan had ear-length short hair and was very spirited. Moreover, she preferred to wear trousers and rarely wore dresses. That kind of woman has been extinct since the 1980s. There are still some. Li Fan thought that if Lin Yuhsin was normal, she would be this kind of girl. It seemed that there was really no such pure girl around him. Therefore, Li Fan's heart had not yet felt the throbbing of love. Chapter 310. You're more suited to live in a fairy tale world. Lu Xinan was furious. Li Fan was obviously looking down on her. Who was she? When had she ever suffered such humiliation? She really wanted to tear this guy's mouth apart. Humph. Seeing him annoyed her. What are we eating tonight? Li Fan casually asked. My dad likes simple things, so it's just ordinary Chinese food. Lu Xinan nervously looked at Li Fan, you won't dislike it, right? It's just a home-cooked meal. Li Fan was indifferent to this, just make more. I have a big appetite. As a martial arts practitioner, although Li Fan absorbed most of his qi through his pores, it was also important to obtain rich energy from food. Don't worry. I will definitely make sure you're full. Lu Xinan giggled, the chef in my house is very good. Even I don't like to eat out. Then let's try it. I hope it's not a hungmen banquet. That's hard to say. Lu Xinan seemed to smile even more happily. As far as I know, there's a little friend named Yang Ruining attending the banquet tonight. Fuck, what did you say? Li Fan almost jumped out of the car. If not for the car's roof, he probably would have jumped out. You're only telling me now. Aren't you tricking me into getting on the boat? It's better than tricking you into bed. Lu Xinan was a little proud. Since you're in this old lady's car, you should accept your fate. You're tricking me. I'm not happy. Li Fan strongly objected. Isn't our hero Li very loyal to his friends? Why is he a little scared now? Are you afraid of Yang Ruining? Are you kidding me? Why would I be afraid of him? It's more like he's afraid of me. Li Fan glared. Comparing me to him is an insult to me. Alright, since you're not afraid of him, why are you so agitated? I can't let Lu Xinan catch me. Li Fan rolled his eyes and said, I think you've never treated me as a real friend. Li Fan's eyes were slightly red. I feel that you've never been open to me, but have used me time and time again. Actually, I'm a little upset. I didn't mean that. Lu Xinan suddenly felt a little flustered, while Li Fan continued to say with his head lowered. Did I make a mistake? Maybe we've never been friends. That's right, we're just working together. I was thinking too much. No, we are indeed good friends. Lu Xinan felt a little weird when she said that, but the main thing now was to make Li Fan happy. He didn't expect Li Fan to be so strong on the outside and so powerful on the inside, but he was so fragile. Seeing Li Fan like this, Lu Xinan's heart softened. Alright, it's my fault. Lu Xinan apologized very seriously. You're much stronger than Yang Ruining. He's just a scum. In my heart, no one can compare to you. Really? Yes, really. Then kiss me and I won't be angry anymore. Lu Xinan suddenly understood and angrily looked at Li Fan. You're playing with me. How is that possible? You're doubting me again. Can't we have more trust in our friendship? Trust your sister. Lu Xinan was about to explode. I knew you can't be trusted. Bastard. It's this distrust that pulled our relationship apart. Li Fan said unhurriedly, you must fully trust me so that I can give you the best return. Feed back your sister. I don't want to talk to you anymore. Lu Xinan turned her head, not wanting to look at Li Fan. But your suit is too ugly. Lu Xinan couldn't help but ridicule. Where is this from? It's too shameful. I bought this with my own money. It's a big brand, Balino. Balino your sister. That brand has been tarnished by Huang Bo's iconic image. Lu Xinan was speechless. Don't say that. Huang Bo is my favorite actor. Li Fan defended his idol. That's none of my business. But if you need, I can help you get his autograph. Lu Xinan seemed to be tempting Li Fan. I can even arrange for you to film with Huang Bo, as long as you obey me. That's impossible. Li Fan wouldn't fall into Lu Xinan's trap. His heart was firm and unwavering. Besides, I don't want to be an actor. I'm such a low-key person. I'll just be a martial artist. Moreover, I work in an escort agency. Being too high profile isn't good for the agency's development. You didn't even think of this. Lu Xinan looked at Li Fan seriously. A person like you will amaze the world sooner or later. Even if you want to be low-key, the entire underworld will spread your name. At least you have a good eye. Li Fan laughed. If you say so, I won't refute. Bah, you're an egomaniac. Everyone has the right to say that about me, but you don't. Li Fan rolled his eyes. You're a super narcissistic woman. I'm narcissistic. I have the right. Lu Xinan said without humility, for more than 10 years, I've been working hard in society. I got to where I am today because of my own hard work. Why can't I be proud and narcissistic? If I don't even have the right, what's the point of my hard work? From your tone, you seem to be saying that people live to be pretentious? Something like that. Lu Xinan nodded, which made Li Fan speechless. After a long time, she seemed to recall something and said to Li Fan seriously, "Since you're here with me today, I'll give you a piece of information." "What information?" "About Storm. This organization likes to send out undercover agents to lurk around the target before taking action." "Fuck, is that true?" "Oh. Someone told you about it?" Lu Xinan was unhappy. She wasn't the first person to tell Li Fan. "Yes, but I think the people around me are trustworthy." "How naive." Lu Xinan looked at Li Fan with disdain. "I didn't expect you to be so naive." "I'm so disappointed." "No, there's a suspicious person around me." "Oh? Who is it?" Lu Xinan looked at Li Fan curiously. Li Fan pointed at her and said, "It's you, Lu Xinan, Miss Lu." "Fuck off." Lu Xinan looked at him angrily. "If you talk nonsense again, I'll throw you out of the car." "Come on, I'm looking forward to it." "Go to hell." The two were bickering when the driver slowed down the car. "Miss, we're home." Chapter 311. Li Fan, don't be afraid. It's nothing out of the ordinary. When they got off the car, Lu Xinan seemed to be comforting Li Fan. "If my dad points a gun at your head, don't be afraid. He's just scaring you." "Fuck." Li Fan wanted to go back to the car, but Lu Xinan grabbed his arm and forcefully brought Li Fan into their villa. Rather than a villa, it was more like a courtyard. There were soldiers standing guard outside. They let Lu Xinan in after checking her pass. "Damn, isn't this a military compound? Lu Xinan actually lives in this kind of place." "My dad is a veteran who participated in the Vietnam War, so he has some power now." Lu Xinan pulled Li Fan into the courtyard and gave him a heads up. "He's a hot-tempered and straightforward person. If there's anything wrong with him, please forgive him." Can I ask, what's Uncle's rank in the military?" "He's just a small regiment commander." "Look at how scared you are." Li Fan heaved a sigh of relief. "He's just the regiment commander of an independent regiment." "Damn." Li Fan wanted to curse. "Isn't this cheating me?" "No, cheating my boyfriend." "What's the difference between the regiment commander of an independent regiment and a division commander? However, even if he's a division commander, he's just a few years older than me. How can a golden fish stay in a pond? Sooner or later, I'll become a dragon. Moreover, I'm a martial artist who has reached the peak of perfection. I'm already a rare master in this world. Even the slightest movement in the surroundings can't escape my eyes and ears. Reaching the pinnacle, climbing the peak, how could others understand the feeling of being on a high mountain?" Thinking of this, Li Fan's mood improved a lot. He exuded the aura of a master. Even Lu Xinan was a little surprised. Speaking of aura, it's really strange. Although it can't be seen or touched, it really exists. Li Fan was a very strange person. Usually, he looked no different from an ordinary high school student, but occasionally, his body would emit a powerful aura. When placed in front of you, it was like a high mountain, making you look up to him in admiration. Looking up to a high mountain. When he walked to Lu Xinan's house, a soldier standing guard in front of the door saw Li Fan and subconsciously raised his right hand and saluted. When Li Fan walked in, he realized why he suddenly saluted. He obviously didn't know that man. How strange. Li Fan didn't notice this scene. He walked into Lu Xinan's house. It's a 3-story house. A middle-aged female nanny came to take Xinan of the house. This female nanny seemed to know the rules. She didn't look at Li Fan too much. Instead, she glanced at him briefly and continued to work with her head down. After Lu Xinan and Li Fan walked in, they were in the living room. They heard a rough voice mixed with a young man's laughter. Li Fan took a closer look. The sofa in the living room was very simple. It was just a product of cloth. It didn't look like the furniture in Lu Xinnan's house. A middle-aged man in a military uniform was sitting there. Although his face was young and his body was quite strong, his hair was already white. He sat on the sofa with his body straight. It was probably a habit that he kept for many years. The old man smoked his handmade cigarettes. Although Li Fan didn't smoke, he could smell that the tobacco was definitely not ordinary. "Little Ning, this tobacco is really good. Did you steal it from your father who is a capitalist?" The middle-aged man smoked while teasing Yang Ruining in front of him. "How could that be? My father specifically asked me to bring it to you." Yang Ruining hurriedly explained. He said that he hasn't seen uncle for many years. He knows that uncle likes this, so he repeatedly asked me to bring it over. "Bullshit." The middle-aged man curled his lips. "I don't know that old bastard. He's so stingy. How could he give me such a good tobacco? Unless he's crazy. Actually, my father still misses you very much." Yang Ruining was not annoyed. Instead, he continued to smile respectfully. "After all, we've been friends for so many years. He also always talks about you to me. That old guy is just a braggart. I didn't see him really come. But although he's not much, it's good that he has a son. Little Ning, if you have nothing to do, come visit us more often. Accompany this lonely empty nest old man." As he spoke, he even started to complain. The change in style was a bit big. Li Fan was somewhat dumbfounded. "Daddy, what are you talking about? How did you become an empty nest old man?" Lu Xinnan walked in holding Li Fan's arm and interrupted. "Raising a daughter who isn't at home every day and runs around everywhere. If I'm not an empty nest old man, then what am I?" The middle-aged man snorted and said in a bad mood. This old man was Lu Xinnan's father. He was once a famous big shot in a city, Lu Shanlong. "Nan Nan, you're back." Yang Ruining immediately got up to greet her. His gaze fell on Lu Xinnan's arm around Li Fan and immediately became cold. But Li Fan could not be bothered to look at him. His gaze was on the middle-aged man behind him. Dressed in a black coat, his hair was a little short, and his eyes were a little sinister. Ma Wenchang of Medicine King Valley. He was indeed here. It seemed that this guy had really become Yang Ruining's lackey. But Ma Wenchang did not recognize Li Fan. He looked at Li Fan as if he was looking at a nobody. "Daddy, this is my boyfriend, Li Fan." Lu Xinnan generously introduced Li Fan. "Because he's young, I didn't have the nerve to bring him home to meet you." "You still have the nerve to say that." Lu Shanlong was a little annoyed. "You found me a son-in-law who's a few years younger. What a scandal. If this gets out, where would I, Lu Shanlong, put my face?" This old man was really merciless. He was still here, but he spoke like this. It was too embarrassing. "Daddy, Li Fan is really a good person. You have to believe in your daughter's taste." Lu Xinnan took Li Fan's hand and interlocked their fingers. "Your daughter has no one else in this life. He's the one for me. Xiao Ning is still here." "How can you say that? Where would Xiao Ning put her face?" Li Fan felt that Lu Shanlong was not qualified to say this, and Yang Ruining's face darkened. "I don't care. Daddy, if you want to dote on me, then let me do as I say. I brought him back today to give you some peace of mind." "What peace of mind?" "I just want to take a pill to save my heart." Lu Shanlong was not angered to death by his daughter. He pointed at Li Fan. "Brat, come here." What did Li Fan mean? Was he going to beat him up? Chapter 312. Lu Xinnan pushed Li Fan from behind, meaning that Li Fan should hurry over. Li Fan muttered in his heart, "Are you trying to push me into the fire pit?" Lu Shanlong didn't look like a good person. Although he was a soldier, he was one of the bosses of the underworld in City A after all. If he got angry, perhaps even City A would tremble with him. Forget it, no matter who he is, I'm an indomitable spirit. Why should I be afraid of him? Thinking of this, Li Fan calmed down and took 2 steps forward. His pace was steady, as if he was just taking a walk. Seeing this scene, Lu Shanlong muttered in his heart. This kid is good. Facing me, he can still be so calm. He's really something. I hope he's not pretending to be like this. When Li Fan walked in front of Lu Shanlong and stood there with his hands clasped behind his back, Lu Shanlong actually had an illusion that compared with this kid, he was like a child, and the other party was an unclimbable mountain. Dangerous mountain. Who is this kid? Why does he have such a bearing? Since he was chosen by his precious daughter, it was impossible for Lu Shanlong not to investigate. According to the intelligence of his men, this Li Fan was just an ordinary high school student. His parents were poor and lived in the old city. Most importantly, it seemed that a shady woman moved into his home and rebuilt the house into a small Western-style house. Li Fan was now living there, and his parents were missing. In Lu Shanlong's view, this so-called high school student, Li Fan, should be a shameless gigolo. How could my daughter choose a gigolo? Uncle? When he walked over, he found that Lu Shanlong was slightly lost in thought, as if he was thinking about something. So, Li Fan called him softly. Ah! Lu Shanlong suddenly woke up, and his old face turned red. He originally wanted to show his power to Li Fan, but why did he make himself so uncomfortable? He had spent his entire life in the military and killed countless people. How could Lu Shanlong, who didn't even put the commander of the military region in his eyes, lose to a brat today? Stinking brat, who allowed you to chase after my daughter? Who gave you the right to do so? Lu Shanlong decided to continue with the original plan. He frowned and scolded Li Fan condescendingly, don't you know that she has a fiancé? Uncle, I'm afraid you've misunderstood. Li Fan was neither servile nor overbearing. He cupped his hands and smiled. It was Nan Nan who chased me shamelessly. Lu Shanlong was stunned by her words, and the corner of Lu Xinnan's mouth twitched. To tell you the truth, I'm just an ordinary high school student. Li Fan sighed and then said, I just want to finish my university quietly and live my own life. However, I didn't expect that Nan Nan would suddenly fall in love with me and pursue me with all her might. I couldn't reject her no matter how hard I tried. I'm just a high school student. Why would I want to find a girl from the underworld as my girlfriend? How scary is that? Lu Xinnan wanted to scold him, and Lu Shanlong seemed to have signs of getting angry. However, Li Fan continued. However, I was still moved by Nanan's sincerity. She's better than I thought. She has a lot of good points, and it was these that deeply attracted me. Although Nan Nan is in the underworld, her heart is still pure. Moreover, she looks strong on the outside, but she's actually weak on the inside. It makes me want to protect her. Lu Xinnan felt that her eyes were a little wet. Although she knew that Li Fan was acting, she couldn't help but take it seriously. After all, Li Fan's words hit the bottom of her heart. She didn't expect this guy to know her so well. My daughter. Although I'm not very satisfied with her. Lu Shanlong, who originally wanted to show his power, was moved by these words and couldn't help but speak his mind, but she's my baby, my one and only. In my heart, I found the best man for her, and that's Yang Ruining. Uncle, I don't agree with you. Li Fan laughed, I respect you as a war hero, but your eyes aren't that good. Yang Ruining, this person, has done all kinds of evil outside. People call him the young thug of a city. As long as she's the daughter of a good family, she would hide far away. Li Fan, how can you say that? Yang Ruining glared at Li Fan, you actually slandered me in front of Uncle. Whether I'm slandering you or not, you know it in your heart. Li Fan looked at Yang Ruining and sneered, how was the chat with Wang Baiqiang last time? Didn't you want to join hands to deal with the Red Dragon Society? Why did you guys fight first? Nonsense, I and Big Brother Wang have been good brothers for many years. We often get together. As for dealing with the Red Dragon Society, that's even more unfounded. Just based on the pretense of the three families, you're maliciously slandering us. Don't try to sow discord between us. Although Yang Ruining's expression didn't change, he was surprised in his heart. How did this news leak out? If you don't want people to know, don't do it. Yang Ruining, you can hide it for a while, but you can't hide it forever. You're slandering me. Alright, you two stop quarreling. After retiring from the underworld, Lu Shanlong was too lazy to care about those things in the underworld. The family business was handed over to his daughter to take care of. Since she didn't tell him, he didn't want to get involved. After all, he's old, and there are many things that he can't do. Today, I called you guys over to have a home-cooked meal, not to let the two of you quarrel. If you want to quarrel, hurry up and leave, I won't keep either of you. Uncle, you're right. I was rude. Li Fan cupped his hands, and Yang Ruining also hurriedly put on a smiling face. It's my fault, Uncle Lu. In a while, I'll drink with you as an apology. Good. Lu Shanlong slapped his thigh. Today, after entering this door, everyone no longer has any status in the underworld, we're all my juniors. Little Ning, although you and Nan Nan broke up, there's no love, but there's still friendship. Today, let's sit down and have a meal together and talk things out. As elders, we will naturally be relieved. Although Lu Shanlong isn't willing to talk about the relationship, there's still a hidden meaning in his words. Yang Ruining heard it and muttered in his heart, this old fox. The Red Dragon Society is determined to win. Today, they will definitely let you have a good time. Also, Li Fan, who do you think you are, immediately turning you into a sacrifice for power? The few of them followed Lu Shanlong to the dining room, and Yang Ruining also secretly gave Ma Wenchang a look. Ma Wenchang understood tacitly. The four of them sat down. On the table are some home-cooked dishes. Northeast's double-cooked pork, boiled white pork, braised intestines. Indeed, it looks very simple, but the smell is different. It's clearly the work of a master chef. Lu Shanlong ordered the housekeeper to take out a few bottles of Mao Tai and place them on the table. I won't bully you juniors, I'll leave first, 3 cups. Chapter 313. Lu Shanlong was indeed from the military. His alcohol tolerance was worthy of his military rank. He drank 3 glasses of white wine in a row, 1 sip at a time. After drinking, his expression did not change, making Li Fan secretly admire him. He was really an old wine jar. Daddy, don't drink so much. Lu Xinnan seemed to be a little unhappy. Although her old man was still considered healthy, his liver was not very good. She had asked him to quit drinking long ago, but he just could not quit. Ha, this wine is my blood. What flows in other people's veins is blood, but what flows in my veins is alcohol, haha. This old man laughed so happily that Lu Xinnan did not know what to say to him. Let me first toast Uncle Lu. Yang Ruining raised his glass and toasted Lu Shanlong first before downing it in 1 gulp. After that, he filled another glass of white wine and faced Li Fan, brotherly, the two of us may have had some misunderstandings in the past, but it is better to squash enmity than keep it alive. I have also reflected on myself. I was too much. I should have treated brotherly as a friend and not be so overbearing. Thousands of words, all contained in this wine. Brotherly, let's toast. Saying that, Yang Ruining raised his glass. And Li Fan also raised his glass. But at this moment, Li Fan saw with his naked eye that Ma Wenchang, who was standing behind Yang Ruining, stretched out a finger and lightly flicked it. The green smoke fell into his glass and blended with the wine. There's a rat. Li Fan looked at the ground beside him and exclaimed. Everyone's gaze was attracted over. Li Fan took the opportunity to flick his finger, and the glass of wine immediately fell on the table in front of Yang Ruining. And Yang Ruining's glass of wine was in his hand. This method of swapping wine was clean and neat. No one else saw it, but Ma Wenchang noticed it. Because the wine in Yang Ruining's glass had turned green. This was a sign that he had poisoned it. Ma Wenchang was a little shocked, but Li Fan was sneering in his heart. This Yang Ruining was really sinister. If Yang Ruining wanted him to die on Lu Shanlong's dining table, then this matter would definitely be exposed by Yang Ruining. Then, Lu Shanlong would be investigated, and Lu Xinan would have no one to rely on. Then, he could kill two birds with one stone. Not only did they kill him, but they also dealt a blow to the Red Dragon Society. Not a bad plan. However, he was dreaming. Since Big Brother Yang has said so, I can't be careless. When they didn't find the mouse, they turned around and saw that Li Fan had already raised his glass and said with shame, "I'm young and impetuous. It's my fault that I had a dispute with you. Take this cup of wine as my apology. After drinking this cup of wine, we're even. From now on, if there's anything you need, just say it. That is, if you can even open your mouth." He had studied the Medicine King Valley before. The Medicine King Valley was divided into two sections. One was the Yang sect and the other was the Yin sect. The people of the Yang sect practiced medicine to save the world. They painstakingly studied medicine so that they could walk the pugilistic world and cure people. While the people of the Yin sect were addicted to evil ways and developed poisons. Although their poison techniques were superb, they only knew how to use poison and did not know how to decipher it. Their poison could only be cured by the people of the Yang sect. If Yang Ruining drank this cup of poisoned wine, there would only be one ending for him, which was to bleed from his 7 orifices and die on the spot. When Ma Wenchang saw Yang Ruining raise his wine cup, he immediately reached out and pressed down on his wrist. "You can't drink it." "What?" Yang Ruining was slightly unhappy. This Ma Wenchang, what was he doing? He asked him to deal with Li Fan. Why did he have to care about me? Anyways, you can't drink it. Ma Wenchang took someone's money to get rid of a calamity. Furthermore, he had to make use of this Yang Ruining. If Yang Ruining died, he would be in trouble. Ma Wenchang slapped the cup in Yang Ruining's hand away. The wine spilled on the ground, saving Yang Ruining's little life. This time, the scene was a bit awkward. Looking at Lu Shanlong's gaze, Yang Ruining hurriedly apologized. "I'm sorry, Uncle Lu. This is an expert that I invited. An expert's temper is a bit strange. He did not mean to offend you. Uncle Lu, please forgive him." "Forget it, I'll let you, an expert, stand back for a while." Lu Shanlong's complexion was not very good. Nothing was more uncomfortable than to spoil the mood of a drinking party. Looks like there is no way for me and Big Brother Yang to reconcile. Li Fan cried out in regret in his heart, but his expression did not change as he said, "Looks like the fight between the two of us will continue. We will reconcile." Hee, Yang Ruining put on a fake smile. The originally harmonious atmosphere between the two of them suddenly became tense. "I already said that we won't talk about other things. Come, let's drink. Eat more food. Treat this place as your own home. Don't stand on ceremony." Lu Shanlong asked the housekeeper to change the wine cup. The few of them began to push the cup again. But this time, under Yang Ruining's instructions, Ma Wenchang walked in front of Li Fan with the wine cup and directly placed the wine cup under his eyelids. "Brother, it was my fault just now. I will also toast you a cup. You have to clink with me." "Oh, sure." Li Fan smiled and clinked his cup with Ma Wenchang's. The poisonous mist on Ma Wenchang's finger immediately floated into Li Fan's cup. In just a short moment, Ma Wenchang had once again completed a beautiful poisoning. But Li Fan did not care. He circulated the true qi in his body. On the surface, he did not show it. He had secretly wrapped the poisonous mist with his true qi and sent it towards Ma Wenchang's cup. Ma Wenchang felt Li Fan's true qi. His heart shook and he hurriedly counterattacked. The two men's true qi immediately collided and both sides were in a deadlock. Lu Shanlong watched as the two men clinked their wine cups together. It was as if they were glued together. Neither of them would let go. "Brother, do you not want to drink my toast? Are you looking down on me?" Ma Wenchang used words to provoke Li Fan, but how could Li Fan be fooled so easily? "Senior from the Valley of the Medicine Masters, although your wine is good, how would I dare to drink it casually? Getting drunk is a small matter, but losing my life is a big deal. You actually know that I am from the Valley of the Medicine Masters?" Ma Wenchang was shocked again. How did Li Fan know this secret? "If you don't want people to know, don't do it. Ma Wenchang, your poison attack has reached the acme of perfection. Do you think that you're invincible in this world? Probably. After all, I can't afford to enjoy the poison in this wine. Li Fan, don't slander me." Yang Ruining hurriedly shouted from the side, "How could our Mr. Ma's wine be poisonous? People like you really like to frame others. Since it's not poisonous wine, how about Brother Yang drink a mouthful for me?" Li Fan laughed, "You drink a mouthful, I drink a mouthful. This is called true friendship. Only a ghost would drink it." The poison in this wine was directly proportional to Yang Ruining's trust in Ma Wenchang's strength. Chapter 314. After drinking this cup of wine, he would go see God. Yang Rui would rather not be stupid, he would not drink the poisonous wine for the sake of fighting. However, this Li Fan was too awesome, how did he see through it? Wasn't Ma Wenchang's poison colorless and odorless? How could it be discovered? Could it be that Li Fan had seen through something? Where did this Li Fan come from? Why was he so powerful? The heavens were truly unfair. He was the proud son of heaven, born with a golden spoon in his mouth. Such a powerful martial skill, why wasn't it given to him, but to that useless high school student? The heavens were really blind to have such pity on those useless trash. What this society needed was class, what it needed was a gap. For a high and mighty person like him to rule over those stupid people below him, this was what a society should be like. At this time, Ma Wenchang and Li Fan's wine cups were still touching, both sides arguing endlessly. "You're actually also a martial artist. To have such a cultivation at such a young age, you can be considered a top figure." Ma Wenchang pushed the wine cup with one hand while controlling his true qi with the other. Although he said this, he was extremely shocked in his heart. This was because Li Fan only used one hand to hold the wine cup, while the other hand was placed under his body. He only used one hand to do what he could do with both hands. "You flatter me. After all, there's a reason why Nan Nan took a fancy to me." Li Fan chuckled, "However, you seem to be a little weak. Did you not eat your fill? Brat, don't be so arrogant. I have trained for decades, could it be that I am inferior to a brat like you?" Ma Wenchang was infuriated. Being looked down upon by a brat was the most infuriating thing. How could he lose to someone with his cultivation? That's hard to say. Li Fan laughed, "I feel that you haven't trained much in the past few decades. Brat, you're courting death." Ma Wenchang was furious, "I was just going easy on you just now. Since you want to court death, I'll grant your wish." As he spoke, the true qi in his body erupted from his dantian, following his meridians, it gathered on his palm. 5 Poison Palm. This was Ma Wenchang's strongest palm technique. Ma Wenchang raised the strongest poisonous insects in the world, and the strongest of them were these 5 poisons. The 5 poisonous creatures were the tempered gold toad, the 7-step snake, the soul-hooking scorpion, the 9-winged centipede, and the 3-headed lizard. Every day, Ma Wenchang would use the 5 venomous insects to bite his palms, and then gather this strange poison into his palms. His palms looked as if they were dyed in black ink, like the palms of an Asura from hell. It was extremely frightening. Even Lu Shanlong was shocked, but he was still able to control himself. This was because during the Vietnam War, China had sent several martial arts masters to participate in the war. He had a powerful martial artist under him, and his skills were amazing. Normally, he wouldn't make a move, but the moment he did, he had wiped out an entire company of Vietnamese monkeys. Lu Shanlong believed that Yang Ruining's bodyguard was a martial arts master. But his precious daughter had found a high school student who could actually fight against this old man. 5 Poison Palm. Ma Wenchang smashed the wine glass with his palm, and pounced towards Li Fan. But Li Fan wasn't afraid. He pushed out with a single hand, and a Ursa Major seal met Ma Wenchang's palm. Idiot, you actually dare to meet my 5 poison palm, you're simply courting death. Ma Wenchang sneered. Meeting his 5 poison palm, this person's intestines would probably be pierced through, and his body would turn into pus and blood. Bang! With a loud explosion, the table beneath the two of them shattered, and the table full of good wine and dishes was ruined. Li Fan didn't even take a step back, and instead stood there calmly. But Ma Wenchang staggered 3 steps back, his left hand holding onto his right wrist. His palm was covered in blood, and it was still trembling non-stop. The fear was greater than the pain. This boy had actually met his 5 poison palm head-on, and was still unscathed. In that instant, he seemed to have used true qi to seal his palm, preventing his poison attack from entering. This feeling was so familiar. Old mister, I think you're really old. This time, it was Li Fan's turn to mock him, and Ma Wenchang gritted his teeth in hatred. What 5 poison palm, I don't feel anything at all. Although Ma Wenchang's internal energy was considered profound, he spent most of his energy on refining poisons. Evil and crooked methods were ultimately not great. My poison attack is invincible. Including you. Before Ma Wenchang could finish his words, Li Fan suddenly appeared in front of him. Li Fan's body sank down, and his fists tightened around his waist, and like a spring, he instantly pulled them behind him. Ape Attack Technique, Ape King Cannon. Li Fan's right hand was like a cannon, and in an instant, it turned into a palm, and suddenly pasted on Ma Wenchang's chest. The power of this palm was higher than the Ursa Major seal. The Ursa Major seal was strong in that it could attack from afar, but this Ape King cannon had to be used in close range, and then fired at high speed, fiercely attacking the opponent. Sure enough, when this palm landed on Ma Wenchang's body was sent flying like a cannonball. This was the essence of the Ape King cannon. The palm was not a cannon, but it turned the enemy into a real cannonball. Rumble. Ma Wenchang's body heavily smashed on the wall behind him. His entire body was embedded in the wall, and a circular crater was formed on the wall. The wall was covered with spider web marks, and it looked like it would shatter at any time. Ma Wenchang's mouth was bleeding. This attack had injured his 5 viscera and 6 bowels. The Ape King cannon's destructive power was very strong, and the damage that Ma Wenchang had suffered was not small. I'm sorry, young Master Yang. Li Fan said apologetically to Yang Ruining, I accidentally injured your bodyguard. I did not expect your bodyguard to be so weak. Where did you hire him from? Is this a scam? Yang Ruining clenched his fists, and his heart was filled with anger. Young man, your strength is not bad. Lu Shanlong laughed heartily. That's impressive. Little Wang, come and clean the table. We still have to drink double. Ah, little Ning, you go home first. When you have time, come and play again. Yang Ruining was almost angered to death. This Lu Shanlong is too much. Is he asking me to leave just like that? Fuck. Indeed, killing the Red Dragon Society was the right choice. There are indeed some things that I need to deal with in the company, but I will go back first. Uncle Lu, I will come and visit you again next time. Yang Ruining found someone to drag away the seriously injured Ma Wenchang and left dejectedly. Ha ha ha, if this kid wants to destroy the Red Dragon Society, it is still too early. After he left, Lu Shanlong smirked coldly. That smirk contained a terrifying murderous intent. Even if Li Fan saw this, his heart could not help but tremble. This Lu Shanlong, is indeed a big shot of a city. I have underestimated him. Chapter 3:15. Lu Shanlong looked no different from an ordinary father, except that he had the aura of a military man. But once he took out the aura of a big boss, it was really frightening. As the saying went, being in the king's company was like being with a tiger. Standing beside him, Li Fan really felt the sense of danger of being next to a tiger. But if Lu Shanlong was a tiger, then Li Fan was Wu Song. So what if he was a fierce tiger? With his martial arts skills, he would fight to the death to subdue him. Alright, those who shouldn't be here have left. The nanny cleared the table, and the few of them sat down around it again. Lu Shanlong's attitude when he spoke was completely different from before. At first, he treated Yang Ruining as his family, and Li Fan as an outsider. But now, it was very different. Lu Shanlong looked at Li Fan as if he was looking at his son-in-law. That look could eat Li Fan up. The more he looked at Li Fan, the more he liked him. This kid could fight, and he was also two-faced. His daughter could only be subdued by him, and his existence could also bring the Red Dragon Society to the peak. When Lu Shanlong was in power, he couldn't make the Red Dragon Society stronger. He, Sun Jiaoliang from the Yellow Uniform Regiment, and Yang Qinya from the Vanguard Army were all sworn brothers. Sun Jiaoliang came out of society when he was in his teens, and later entered the army. He was a soldier for a period of time, and then fought in the Vietnam War. He were brothers who squatted in the trenches. As for Yang Qinya, he was a civil official at that time, and was arranged by the higher-ups to be gilded. But Yang Qinya was still ambitious, and he hit it off with him. The three of them kowtowed in a temple and drank wine together. When these old things were in power, although they all had their own ambitions, no one wanted to hurt their feelings. Therefore, even if their bodies were still strong, they all chose to abdicate and give the family business to their respective children. Only Sun Jiaoliang sent his son abroad to study, and let his nephew take over the business. Not to mention, the most cunning one was old Sun. When it came to Lu Xinnan's generation, ambition could no longer be stopped. The three old men all turned a blind eye to it, letting the children fool around below. As long as they didn't kill the other party, it didn't matter how the group fought. Therefore, there was an unwritten rule among the three major forces in City A. No matter how hard they fought, they could not hurt the patriarch. That was why Wang Baiqiang and Yang Ruining did not attack each other even though they were fighting. This was a matter of principle, a minefield. If they stepped on the wrong minefield, then the consequences would be very serious, and the three families might really perish together. From the iron triangle formed by the three old men to the current situation where the world was divided into three. Lu Shanlong felt that someone was missing to break this pattern. But at this moment, Li Fan appeared. Shining with a golden light, it appeared beautifully in front of Lu Shanlong. He was an outsider. Although he would be her son-in-law, he would still be an outsider. Outsiders could not abide by the rules. And if there was really no other choice, he could kill him to give an explanation to the outsiders, and it would not be too painful. Thinking of this, a trace of ruthlessness flashed in Lu Shanlong's eyes, and then he took the initiative to fill up Li Fan's glass, which made Lu Xinnan stunned. Her father actually took the initiative to pour wine for someone else. Li Fan, although I'm still a little unwilling, the man that my precious daughter likes, let her be. As long as the two of you are happy, as an old man, I will also be happy. Thank you for understanding, uncle. Li Fan muttered in his heart, is there a chance? I'm also old, and I don't want to ask about the matters of the underworld, nor do I like to ask. I just want to ask a question. Lu Shanlong patted Li Fan's shoulder, I just want to know, when are you going to have a son with my daughter? Li Fan almost spat out the wine in his glass, while Lu Xinnan's face was filled with embarrassment. Lu Shanlong had his own thoughts, that Li Fan, this person, would sooner or later be handed over as a sacrifice. But his body was strong, and his genes must be good. He had a grandson, and when Li Fan's empire was passed to his grandson to inherit, then everything would be perfect. Daddy, what are you talking about? It's still too early. Lu Xinan blushed fiercely, and this was the first time Li Fan saw this girl blushing. What's wrong with having children? Lu Shanlong was unhappy. You're busy outside every day, and you don't even have time to go home for a meal. Is it wrong for me to have a little grandson to accompany me? What uncle said is right. Li Fan quickly toasted Lu Shanlong, but I'm still young, at least I need to go to university before I can talk about marriage. So you're saying that you're planning to play with my daughter? Lu Shanlong was angry, and Li Fan felt the pressure increase again. This old man really had a monkey's face. He changed so quickly. Although I, Lu Shanlong, am not a big shot, but my daughter is my heart. As Lu Shanlong said that, he stretched out his hand and pulled out a triage bayonet from under the table, and stabbed it on the table. Daddy, what are you doing? Lu Xinan was shocked. Please calm down. He was not afraid that Li Fan would be stabbed, but he was worried that his father would be beaten. After all, Li Fan had such strength, and although his father came from the military, he did not know any martial arts. Choose one. Either marry my daughter, or fight. Li Fan's forehead was filled with black lines. This old man was like a lunatic. But he and his future father-in-law, Murong Bo, had two different personalities. Murong Bo strongly opposed him marrying into the family, but Lu Shanlong was forcing him to hasten it. Uncle, I didn't mean that. Li Fan filled Lu Shanlong's glass of wine again. Marriage is a lifetime event, and a man does not have his own career. How can he talk about love affairs? So, you want to start a career first, and then marry my daughter? Lu Shanlong seemed to be a little unhappy. Exactly. Then how many years do you want to start a business? 1 year, 10 years? My daughter's youth can't be wasted. Lu Shanlong said, if you want a career, I have it here. If you marry my daughter and give birth to a grandson for me, the whole Red Dragon group will be yours. With such a big family business, you can save many years of hard work. Sorry, uncle, I will not give in to this. However, Li Fan put down his wine glass and said firmly, my career, I will create it myself. Other people's career has nothing to do with me. You brat. Lu Shanlong's eyes showed anger, and he stared at Li Fan. Li Fan was still sitting there with his chest out, looking straight into Lu Shanlong's eyes. Brat, you have a backbone. Lu Shanlong felt that the brat opposite him was obviously amenable to coaxing, but not coercion. Since he could not use coercion, he prepared to use soft tactics. I'm still a child, I don't want to take care of one more wife. Tai Zhu, I'm back. Li Fan focused on his true energy and shouted, but there was a feeling of emptiness. In the past, Tai Zhu would definitely rush out with a nutritious supper in his hands. Murong Ying, on the other hand, should be sitting on the sofa next to him, reading a novel. But today, the house didn't even have the lights turned on. Everything was so quiet. By the way, they all left today. Li Fan then remembered what Murong Ying said to him. Because of Lu Xinan, he forgot about it. It seems that I have to sleep alone tonight. I'm used to living with a woman, it seems a little lonely to be alone. Ahaha, it's not like I'm really hugging and sleeping together. Li Fan felt a little silly at that moment. Am I used to living with Murong Ying? This habit is not good. Li Fan rubbed his head and was about to turn on the lights. At this moment, a cold wind blew into his ear. Li Fan immediately turned his head, facing the cold wind, and hit it with his palm. Bear King Seal. Bang! Li Fan didn't move, but the person opposite flew out, flipped in the air, and landed on the ground. Li Fan waved his hand, and the living room lights were turned on by his true chi. For a moment, the living room was brightly lit. But when he saw a naked girl, his eyes immediately widened. Fuck, Murong AI, what the hell are you doing? Li Fan clenched his teeth, waved his hand again, and the living room lights went out. Brother-in-law, husband, I haven't seen you for a long time, I miss you. Murong's coquettish voice came into Li Fan's ears, brother-in-law is really getting stronger. Murong Ai, please conduct yourself with dignity. Li Fan said coldly. I'm excited to see brother-in-law's husband, why should I conduct myself with dignity? Murong said coquettishly, I still want to give brother-in-law's husband a child. Motherfucker, giving birth again. Don't women nowadays know how to find other forms of entertainment? Why don't you wear clothes at home? Why don't you turn on the lights? I'm also saving electricity for the country. Murong Ai said softly, today is World Lights Out Day. Lights Out Day your sister. It's useless to talk about this with me. Then why don't you wear clothes, is today still World Lights Out Day? That's not it, but I just took a shower. Murong Ai's voice was soft, which was different from Murong Ying. After all, Murong Ai was still young, but her mind was particularly complicated. I just came out and heard brother-in-law calling me, so I can't wait, like a bird returning to its nest. I'm very excited. Oh, is that so? Li Fan's mouth twitched. I'm quite excited. I want to give birth to a child for brother-in-law's husband immediately. Give birth? It's to suck me dry. Li Fan laughed, the fusion of yin and yang will only make one person die and the other stronger. Aya, brother-in-law, what are you talking about, why don't I understand? I'm afraid you know more than me. Li Fan crossed his arms and stood in the darkness, Murong Ai, Murong Ai, your sister-in-law is really amazing. These words of brother-in-law and hubby were really intimate. It really does sound like it's real. It's real. You see, brother-in-law and husband have seen my body, I'm actually a very traditional woman. Traditional your sister. Forget it, I'm too lazy to care about you, do whatever you want. Li Fan turned around and was about to leave. Chapter 317. Brother-in-law husband, wait a minute. Murong lovingly said, if I were you, I wouldn't walk around. Why? Li Fan frowned, vaguely having a bad feeling. He tried to take a step forward, but suddenly his legs softened, causing him to kneel down on the ground, using his arms to support his body. You used 5 poison palm. Li Fan never thought that in the dark, Murong lovingly would actually use 5 poison palm to attack him. That's right, brother-in-law husband is really knowledgeable, to actually know this palm technique. Murong Ai cheerfully clapped her hands, I also trained hard for a long time and endured a lot of pain before I was able to master this 5 poison palm. However, my 5 poison palm is not pure enough, and now it's mainly controlled by the 7-step snake's poison. Therefore, with every step that brother-in-law husband takes, the poison will get closer to your heart. After 7 steps, you will fall to the ground and die. You're ruthless. Li Fan deeply frowned, he looked inside and found that the poison has indeed entered his blood vessels, and it's very close to his heart. If the poison entered his heart, it would be game over for him. Brother-in-law husband, you can also detoxify it. Murong lovingly walked to Li Fan's side, her body's fragrance rushed into Li Fan's nose. As long as you and I are husband and wife for one night, you can detoxify it. Hee, you're teasing me. Li Fan simply did not fall for Murong lovingly's trick. Other than the people from the Medicine King Guyong sect, no one else can detoxify the 5 poison palm. Sister-in-law, do you think I'm an idiot, trying to coax me with these words? Aya, brother-in-law husband, why are you so smart? Murong Ai sighed and gently slid a finger on Li Fan's chest, it's good to be obedient to me, at least you can be happy before you die. Isn't there a good saying, dying under a peony flower, becoming a ghost is also romantic. I haven't lived enough. I don't want to die yet, so I'm really sorry. As Li Fan spoke, he sat down cross-legged and held his hands in a circle, allowing the true qi in his body to flow faster. He channeled the true qi in his body and sealed the poison in his blood vessels. The 5 poison palm was an extremely poisonous palm technique, but Li Fan had tried it before. If he used his true qi to block it, he could block the poison. It could be said that true qi was an insulator. He let his true qi revolve and attack the poison, forcing it out of his body. Li Fan opened all the pores on his body and used them as channels for the output of true qi. When the true qi gushed out of his body, it would also expel the toxins from his body. Brother-in-law, husband, it's useless. The poison of the 5 poison palm can't be removed. Murong Ai apparently didn't know that Li Fan could control the pores on his body. She confidently said to Li Fan, as long as brother-in-law's husband is obedient and spends the spring night with me, at least you can die happily. Why don't brother-in-law's husband just sit here and let me do the rest? With that, Murong Ai stretched out a finger. This fingernail was very long and very sharp. Qin Chao didn't know what kind of kung fu she practiced. She used this fingernail to cut Li Fan's pants. Li Fan's pants were directly cut open, revealing the important equipment he used to transmit chromosomes. Murong Ai was quite bold. She grabbed the equipment with her fingers and moved it up and down a few times. She seemed to want to arouse Li Fan's desire, but Li Fan was calm and focused on detoxifying. Although Li Fan was a masculine young man, his life was at stake right now. It was not the time to be greedy. He controlled his true qi and compressed the poison. As an expert who could change bones, Li Fan could control every part of his body. Including the poison in his body, he could use his true qi to control it. Even the blood in his body, he could detoxify the poison. But Murong Ai didn't know this. She thought that Li Fan was making a fearless effort. She continued to use her hands to release the pressure of the equipment, trying to make Li Fan submit. Since he was a man, he would definitely be moved by her. Murong Ai's face was full of confidence. She must obtain Li Fan's pure yang body. After the yin and yang combination, she could become the strongest. At that time, her sister would not be her opponent. All of this was right in front of her. As long as she obtained Li Fan's body, it would be fine. As for brother-in-law's death, it doesn't matter. In any case, there are so many outstanding men. Let sister find another one. Brother-in-law, husband, give up resisting. You are already hopeless. Quickly listen to the voice in your heart and release the most primal pressure with me. Li Fan didn't say a word. He didn't care about Murong Ai, who was working hard and focused on detoxifying. The poison in his body had been compressed together and condensed into a ball. As long as there was a pass, he could release it. At this time, his sports equipment had reached its limit. Li Fan originally wanted to use his pores to expel the poison in his body, but he didn't expect that the poison would suddenly go out of control. It was as if it was sucked in and rushed out like a tide. Ah! Murong Ai screamed. A black thing rushed in front of her. She vaguely felt that something was wrong and subconsciously dodged. Didn't they say that men should be white? Why is brother-in-law black? Li Fan suddenly opened his eyes. With one hand, he grabbed Murong Ai's neck and lifted her into the air. Murong Ai, when your sister is here, you may be able to act and be rampant. But when it comes to me, if you dare to act like a demon, only death awaits you. Cough cough. I was wrong. Brother-in-law. Do you have the heart to let me die? I am so cute, humph. Li Fan pushed with his hand. Murong Ai's body flew out and hit the sofa behind. Although Murong Ai was a little demon, there was still Murong Ing above him. For her sake, he had to let Murong Ai live. But this was the last time. The next time Murong Ai dared to use such a vicious method on him, Li Fan would definitely not let her live. After all, the limit of his endurance was also limited. Li Fan took a few steps and was safe and sound. He didn't seem to be poisoned at all. Murong Ai was very surprised. She thought of the black thing before and suddenly understood something. Brother-in-law, he actually used such a method to expel the poison? My God! This is unbelievable. No matter what, you are mine. Your pure young body is also mine. They still had to stay together for 2 days. Murong Ai believed that she could definitely take down Li Fan. She didn't believe that he wouldn't be tempted by such a beautiful woman like her. Sister's thing. Snatching it seems to be very interesting. Murong Ai looked at Li Fan's back and licked her lips. Chapter 318. Li Fan locked the door and slept soundly. With Li Fan's current skill, even if it was a rope, he could sleep comfortably. After the detoxification, he felt completely refreshed, and the drowsiness came in droves. Li Fan didn't have any dreams that night. When the sky brightened, there was a burst of fragrant hot air beside his ear. Li Fan woke up with a start. He opened his eyes and saw Murong Ai standing in front of him with her hands behind her back. She was wearing a white shirt and a pair of pure white underwear. What are you doing? Although a woman's attire was very harmful to a man, Li Fan was calm. However, Li Fan's heart was as calm as still water. Although Murong Ai was beautiful, her heart was too sinister. If he fell into her beauty trap, he would be the one who would suffer. Although it was very happy to have sex, it would be too tragic if he died after one sex. He was not a praying mantis. He didn't want to be eaten by a female praying mantis on his wedding night. This is a kind wake-up service, brother-in-law. Murong said with a smile, in this way, brother-in-law will slowly be moved and spend the night with me. Li Fan didn't say anything. He just looked at Murong, making Murong's hair stand on end. Brother-in-law, why are you looking at me like this? Is it because I'm too beautiful? I'm just looking at a female praying mantis. Li Fan said lightly. He didn't expect Murong to laugh. Brother-in-law, science has proved that the female praying mantis wants to eat their partner when they are newlyweds. This is actually nonsense. You must have seen too much Black Cat Sheriff and it left a shadow in your heart. Her words made Li Fan speechless, making him seem particularly ignorant. Murong Ying was knowledgeable, but how could her sister Murong Ai be so smart? No, it should be every woman around me. Why are they so smart? This makes me look stupid. So, brother-in-law, husband, don't be afraid that I will eat you up. Let's have an in-depth interaction. Don't guys always get excited in the morning? That has nothing to do with you. As Li Fan spoke, he pushed with his hand and a wave of true qi acted on Murong's body, pushing her body out and landing at the door. Brother-in-law, husband, how can you be so heartless? I like you so much, but you heartlessly reject me, boo-hoo. With that, Murong wiped away her tears. Damn, this little demon's acting skills are really outstanding. A true actor was far more powerful than him. However, although Li Fan's IQ wasn't as high as theirs, he wasn't a fool. He wouldn't believe that Murong loved him. If you want to cry, cry by yourself. I'm going to school. Brother-in-law, hubby, I made a breakfast of love for you. Murong Ai hurriedly said. I don't dare to eat your breakfast. I still want to live for a few more years. Brother-in-law, husband, how can you think of me like that? How could I be so bad? I'm not that bad, you're the one who's bad. Li Fan glared at Murong Ai, but Murong Ai said with grievance, brother-in-law, hubby is prejudiced against me. Prejudiced? Do I have to have a good impression of someone who wants to kill me every day? Li Fan sneered, but Murong Ai said, brother-in-law, hubby, death is just the beginning. Moreover, after you were sucked dry by me, you became one with me. That's why you're not dead, but you're together with him forever. I really like brother-in-law, hubby, So I want to be with brother-in-law, hubby, forever. Li Fan looked at Murong Ai's smile, and felt that her smile was very sick. I don't understand. You should have been favored by the heavens since you were young. Both your family and your sister dote on you. Why is your heart still so abnormal? Brother-in-law, hubby, your words are too much. Murong Ai said with a sad face, my love for brother-in-law, hubby is real. I don't really want your twisted love. It's been like this since we were young. Whatever my sister likes, I also like. Murong Ai licked her lips, moreover, whatever I like, my sister will give it to me. So, brother-in-law, hubby, you should also be mine. Sure enough, you're too sick. You must have been spoiled by your sister. Li Fan felt that there was something wrong with Murong Ai's way of thinking. If this continued, sooner or later she would become a terrible devil. Brother-in-law, I like you, you should obey me. Murong Ai looked at Li Fan and smiled like a flower, obey me, brother-in-law, hubby. At the last moment, I will definitely make you feel true happiness. From now on, with my body as the axis, you are not allowed to enter within a radius of 2 meters. As Li Fan said that, he struck the wall beside him with his palm. Bam! A palm print immediately appeared on the wall. It was very frightening. Otherwise, you will be like this wall. With that, Li Fan picked up his school uniform and turned to go downstairs. Brother-in-law, hubby, at least eat the breakfast of love that I made. Murong Ai hugged the beautiful food box and followed behind Li Fan with some unwillingness. What kind of breakfast of love can you make? Li Fan asked snappily. I worked hard to make this. Murong Ai said as she opened the food box, revealing the breakfast inside. Fried scorpion, braised spider, steamed white snake. Brother-in-law, this breakfast is full of protein and nutrition. Li Fan almost vomited blood. Then keep it for yourself. Goodbye. He didn't want to eat these things. They were all poisonous insects, what the hell was there to eat? Brother-in-law, goodbye. Murong Ai could only send Li Fan to the door. Standing by the door, she didn't step out of the door. After all, she was wearing skimpy clothes. Li Fan strode with his strong legs, using qinggong, rushing toward the school. Murong Ai stood in front of the door, seemingly worried about personal gains and losses. At this time, a courier happened to pass by Li Fan's house. Seeing Murong Ai dressed skimpily, he couldn't help but whistle. Murong Ai smiled sweetly and casually swung her hand. Ah! My eyes! Invisible poison was scattered, colorless and odorless. The courier hit it head-on and drove for a distance. His eyes began to turn red, and then tears of blood flowed out from the pain. He rolled down from the electric bike and painfully dug his eyes, his body twitching into a ball. He didn't know what happened at all. All that was left in front of him was darkness, accompanied by a fatal pain. The poison took away his eyes, but Murong Ai closed the door as if nothing had happened. Brother-in-law, hubby, see you later. Chapter 319. When he arrived at school, Li Fan finally felt relaxed. Only in this place could he remember that he was a high school student. He had not graduated yet, but he was already like a Jianghu person. He had no choice. Who asked him to find a Wulin leader as his fiancé? Li Fan, have you read the latest Wulin Chronicles? During the break, Lil, 4 Eyes, who shared a desk with Li Fan, gave him a push and woke him up. Ah! Li Fan raised his head and looked at his military advisor in confusion. What the hell is Wulin Chronicles? You don't even know about Wulin Chronicles? Bai Lin Luo was a little surprised. This is important information to understand first-hand Jianghu information. I don't know, Li Fan's answer made Bai Lin Luo speechless. He secretly took out his phone and opened an app. Li Fan glanced at the name of the app. It was indeed called Wulin Chronicles. What is this? Li Fan was a little curious. Could it be a mobile game? This is an app, similar to a news app. But the news on it is all about what happened in the Jianghu. Bai Lin Luo pushed his glasses. Since you are a Jianghu person, you can't be ignorant about the things happening in the Jianghu. Fuck, Li Fan looked at the big and small news on the app. Things like Widow Amei's door was always knocked on at midnight, the most handsome young man in Wudang Mountain, the exclusive aphrodisiac secret of Medicine King Valley. The only thing that was reliable was the news of the 19th martial arts tournament in Mount Hua being broadcasted live. The development of the Jianghu is a little too advanced. Li Fan found it a little hard to accept, but Bai Lin Luo opened a piece of news and showed it to him. The Pearl of the Golden Eagle Castle, who can bring her home? What is the Golden Eagle Castle? Li Fan didn't know much about these Jianghu inquiries, but Bai Lin Luo patiently explained it to him. The Golden Eagle Castle is a place similar to a relay station in the Jianghu. There are all sorts of people here, and there are many experts. Many people in the pugilistic world like to gather in places like Golden Eagle Castle to exchange information and information. Oh, it's similar to the towns where adventurers gather in games? Li Fan made an analogy. More or less, and it's the most popular town. Bai Lin Luo pointed out this point. Yin Wuchao, the lord of the Golden Eagle Castle, is nicknamed the Desert Eagle. He is also a famous big shot in Jianghu. I understand. Li Fan nodded. Is he looking for a son-in-law? Yes, this is the most sensational thing in the game recently. Bai Lin Luo nodded. It's even more eye-catching than the 19th martial arts tournament. It is said that the young talents of the major sects in the Jianghu are already eager to try. It is written here that the martial arts tournament will be held during the new year. Why are they in such a hurry? Li Fan could not help but mock. Bai Lin Luo reminded Li Fan, brother, don't look down on this martial arts tournament for a spouse. The Golden Eagle Castle is an important information station in the Jianghu. I don't need to explain its significance to the various sects, right? Moreover, the Martial Arts Alliance Master Conference is held once every 5 years, but the young talents in the Jianghu have never had the chance to spar. Who is the strongest young expert in this generation of the Jianghu will probably be decided in this martial arts tournament for a spouse. TSK. Yin Wuchao actually thought of this method to find a son-in-law. How ugly must his daughter be for her to not be able to get married? I don't know, but I heard that his daughter is quite beautiful. As for what she looks like, I have not seen her. Alright, I have a rough idea. Li Fan laughed. This app is quite fun. I reckon that there will be a live broadcast of the martial arts tournament. When the time comes, I really want to watch the fun. I'll go next. I think that you should try this martial arts tournament for a spouse. What? Li Fan was shocked when he heard that. Are you kidding me? You want me to participate in the martial arts tournament for a spouse? Don't you know the situation at home? Isn't a tigress enough for me? If she knows that I secretly participated in the martial arts tournament for a spouse, won't she strangle me to death? If Muroning knew about this, Li Fan reckoned that his muscles and bones would be crippled. That woman must be a Leo. She was domineering and possessive. My main point is not for you to find a partner. Bai Lin Luo said. You are now the head of Fifan Express. Keeping a low profile is far from enough. You need to be famous. He reminded Li Fan, the more famous you are, the more profits you will get. The name, Little Tyrant, has just started to spread in the Jianghu, but it's like throwing a pebble into a lake, causing ripples. But if you don't do something now, I'm afraid the ripples will disperse. Bai Lin Luo's words were very obvious. Li Fan tapped his fingers on the table. Go. Don't go. What Bai Lin Luo meant was that finding a partner was secondary. It could even be said that it was completely unnecessary. He only needed to go to that place, that arena, and make use of that environment to defeat the heroes of the Jianghu to create his own reputation. Bai Lin Luo had his considerations. Logically speaking, he was right. This opportunity was once in a blue moon. Otherwise, there was still some time before the next martial arts circle convention. If he wanted to show off his skills on that stage, even if he could wait, his escort agency couldn't. Just like what Li Fan had said to Bai Lin Luo, if he didn't go crazy, he would be too old. What do you think? Bai Lin Luo had made this suggestion to Li Fan after some analysis. This is not a small matter. Let me think about it. Li Fan couldn't make a decision now. He had to think about it carefully. Alright, but my advice to you is to go. Bai Lin Luo chuckled. Not only you, but Guan Wenbao and Yan Kai must also go. The three of you are the strongest fighting force in our agency. No matter which one of you wins, it will make our agency famous. I think I know what you mean. Li Fan didn't rush to give an answer. At this moment, the bell rang. The new class teacher was a woman in her 30s who taught mathematics. She walked in with a thick stack of test papers and said, "Students, before we announce the results of the previous quiz, I have another announcement. From today onwards, there will be a new member joining our class. Please welcome her." The students applauded. At this moment, a girl in a small dress pushed the door open and walked in with a fragrant breeze. The appearance of this girl made all the boys hold their breaths. All the girls were jealous, and Li Fan's jaw dropped. Damn, why is it her? Hello everyone, I'm Murong AI. We'll be studying together in the future. Take care of Xiao AI. Chapter 320. Fuck, fuck, fuck. This was different from what they had agreed on. Didn't Muronging say that her sister would only be staying at home for 2 days? Then why did she appear at this place? There must be a mistake somewhere, right? She's so beautiful, she's so cute. I want to be her boyfriend. The boys couldn't help but stare at her. Murong's expression seemed to be a little shy. She lowered her head and kept fiddling with the corner of her clothes. Damn you, why are you pretending to be shy? Do you think I don't know your personality? Now you're here to deceive the ignorant public. Xiao AI is meeting everyone for the first time. I'm a little nervous, Murong said a little timidly. I hope you don't mind Xiao AI. No. We'll take good care of Xiao AI. I can tutor you in your studies. I'm the best student in the class. Deng Siwei's words caused a wave of boos. After the former principal's downfall and Chang Chuanxi's resignation, Deng Siwei's existence had been quite awkward. He rarely spoke and only used his grades to express his inner disdain for others. But this time, he couldn't resist Murong's beauty and once again revealed his true nature. Li Fan felt that his life had begun to inexplicably have some pressure. The life that he wanted was not like this. Students, don't be fooled by this female devil. Her conscience was actually very bad. Xiao AI, you look so similar to Director Murong, your surname is the same too, a girl couldn't help but ask. I don't want to hide it. Murong seemed to be a little panicked. Sister said that I can't reveal my identity. Her flustered and cute appearance deeply fascinated the boys. Even the girls felt a little sorry for her. This girl must have had a hard time with such a strict sister. They really are sisters. They really look alike, but their breasts seem to be a lot different. Is it because they haven't developed yet? The crowd discussed. Hearing that they were talking about her small breasts, Murong's heart turned cold, but she pretended to be wronged and said, I know. I'm not as outstanding as my sister. But don't look down on me. I'll work hard. No. Why would anyone look down on you? Xiao AI is also very cute. The surrounding students were all talking about it. Even Bai Lin Luo looked a little excited. Xiao AI, is your English good? Do you want me to tutor you? Fuck. Li Fan tugged at him. Isn't your goddess Liao Wushuang? Yeah. Bai Lin Luo admitted it without hesitation. Then why do you love Murong so much? I feel that Murong loves her like a little sister. I don't know why, but I can't help but feel sorry for her. Bai Lin Luo scratched the back of his head. Maybe it's Murong's unique charm. Li Fan cursed in his heart. Holy shit, this Murong is clearly a demoness. Nothing good can come out of being with her. If this goes on, my classmates will be poisoned by her. What should I do now? How can I save my fallen classmates? Xiao, AI, you're new here. We should take care of you. Even the teacher fell into Murong's fake charm. She looked at Murong with a little affection and said, which seat do you want to sit in? Choose one. Oh no. Li Fan had a bad feeling in his heart. What's with this chill on my back? Why am I feeling scared? Holy shit, I didn't have this feeling when I fought with those masters. Thank you, teacher. Murong couldn't help but laugh. Then, her eyes swept around the class and finally fell on Li Fan. At this moment, Li Fan wished that Murong was blind. However, Murong still walked straight towards him and stopped beside Little Four Eyes. She said to Bai Lin Luo coquettishly. This little brother. Can you give this seat to me? Li Fan prayed in his heart. Bai Lin Luo, you must hold on. You're a man, a man. You can't just give in like this. Ah, sure. Bai Lin Luo gave up on Li Fan's hope. He nodded happily. This seat is really good. It's easy to look at the blackboard, and it's easy to listen to the teacher. Also, the feng shui is good. If you like it, come and sit. Fuck you, are you selling a grave? Li Fan almost wanted to scold Bai Lin Luo. Thank you, little brother. Murong AI happily agreed and even bowed to Bai Lin Luo in a dignified manner. Li Fan was so angry that his nose almost became crooked. Damn, where did all the integrity of a man go? This student, we have to take care of each other in the future. Murong naturally sat beside Li Fan. Li Fan was so angry that he almost broke his teeth. Teacher. I want to change seats. Li Fan stood up and said loudly. What's the matter, Li Fan? Ban Ren was stunned. He didn't know what Li Fan was up to this time. Although he had already stepped down from his position as the school committee chairman, he still had the title of the little tyrant. Even the teachers would avoid him. Li Fan was the tyrant of second high. The good thing was that although Li Fan wasn't someone to be trifled with, he never took the initiative to provoke others. I don't want to sit with her. Li Fan said directly, I'm used to sitting at the same table with Bai Lin Luo, so I request to sit with Bai Lin Luo. The surrounding people looked at Li Fan in surprise. Some people said that Li Fan was gay, so he had hemorrhoids. Could it be true? Such a beautiful Murong took the initiative to ask to sit beside Li Fan. It was unknown how many people were envious of her. But Li Fan rejected her. He actually rejected her. Oh my god, is he a man? Does Student Li hate me? Murong suddenly cried. She kept wiping her tears as if she was very sad. Li Fan almost collapsed. This woman, she's playing this trick again. Damn it, if this goes on, it would be bad for me. In the past, Li Fan was the hero in the eyes of the students. But now, because of the appearance of Murong, he felt that he had become the public enemy. Everyone's gazes fell on him, and all of them were filled with hatred and anger. If you hate me, I'd better leave. Murong seemed to want to stand up, but the surrounding people had begun to reprimand Li Fan. Li Fan, you're too much. How can you bully a little girl like this? Li Fan, I've misjudged you. In fact, you're no different from Hua Dehong. Chapter 321. Fuck. This bunch of bastards. Because of a woman, they actually turned against me. Li Fan almost cursed out loud. He has a feeling of wanting to vomit blood. Although Murong Love was crying, her eyes revealed a kind of craftiness and complacency. Li Fan, she only wants to sit beside you, not eat you up. What are you afraid of? Even Bai Lin Luo criticized Li Fan. Li Fan almost collapsed. Fuck, Murong love this woman. She is definitely a scary demoness. The moment she appeared, her position in the hearts of the students was completely overturned. Not only that, even a loyal friend like Bai Lin Luo was so dissension. This is too scary. Really too scary. Li Fan had a feeling of wanting to immediately kill Murong Love. This woman really shouldn't be allowed to live. If she is alive, she might be a huge threat to me. This was the cry that came from Li Fan's heart. At the same time, an evil voice rang in his ears. Fall for Murong Love, obtain her pure body, and suck her dry. This way, I can be unparalleled in the world. Those who look down on me, will have to kneel in front of me. This voice became louder and louder, and more evil. It was as if a hand was seducing Li Fan. What kind of person was Hua Dehong? Then he was a complete bastard. And now, he was actually placed together with him. This was simply a great humiliation to him. Li Fan, can you still endure this? You have a body full of divine skills, why are you being bullied by these ordinary people? As long as you wave your hand, they will become cold corpses. Kill the chicken to warn the monkey, then others will fear you, and dare not provoke you. If you don't teach them a lesson, they will never know how scary you are. This voice was like a curse, constantly ringing in Li Fan's ears. Li Fan felt that the entire world in front of him was beginning to turn blood red. The faces of his classmates also became ferocious, and the most terrifying thing was Murong Ai, who was beside him. She had transformed into a venomous snake, opened her bloody mouth, wrapped around him, and then spat out her fangs at him. Shut up! Li Fan shouted. His voice was infused with genuine qi, which instantly spread throughout the entire class. These students were immediately startled. That sound shook their ears to the point of pain, and their vision darkened. Their stomachs were in pain, and they almost vomited. They finally remembered. This person was called the Little Tyrant, and he was the school's tyrant. If he really got angry, who here could be his match? Although the beauty's charm was great, they couldn't care less about the beauty now. Everyone fell silent. Then I'll sit behind Li Fan, is that okay? Murong Ai could also see that everyone was afraid of Li Fan. If she tried to provoke Li Fan's dignity, she was afraid that it would backfire. Therefore, Murong Ai took a step back, and retreated in order to advance. Yes, you can sit. The boys behind her didn't hesitate to give up their seats, and it seemed that this matter could come to an end. Li Fan let Bai Lin Luo obediently return to his seat, and at the same time, patted his shoulder, indicating that he had lost his mind. Bai Lin Luo was also a smart person. He suddenly felt that something was wrong. He had never been so infatuated with a girl. Even if it was teacher Liao Wushuang, it was because of her profound knowledge and her excellent English that he was attracted to her. And this Murong Ai, what did she rely on to attract him? Bai Lin Luo couldn't say it, which was why he felt that it was strange. This Murong Ai, there must be something wrong with her. No wonder Li Fan was so repulsed by her, was there a reason? Li Fan sat in the classroom with his arms crossed, and the teacher didn't dare to look at him. And Murong Ai also quietly sat behind him, not daring to disturb Li Fan, as if she was very afraid of Li Fan. Li Fan is so scary. Even the new girl was scared by him. Really scary. Seems like he is the new generation Hua Dehong. There was a lot of discussion around, whispering. Although the voice was very low, but Li Fan's hearing was very good, and he heard all of it. Execute them. Execute these stupid mortals. That shout sounded again, as if it wanted to pierce through Li Fan's brain. But Li Fan simply closed his eyes, and with both hands complaining, he entered the state of meditation in the classroom. Li Fan didn't use his martial arts, because once he used his martial arts, 5 clouds of smoke would appear on top of his head, which was the state of 5 flowers blooming. That would be too shocking, and Li Fan didn't want to make a scene that would shock the world. He was just adjusting his state, not letting the heart demon enter his body. As a martial artist, he couldn't succumb to his own heart demon. Li Fan made a few deep breathing movements, letting his mind relax. And at this time, a cold wind appeared, and Li Fan subconsciously opened his eyes. A black shadow sat on the table in front of him, and he looked exactly like him. However, his eyes were red, and his skin was a little dark. He, do you see, the people around you are all so stupid. The black shadow opposite looked at Li Fan, with a smile on his mouth. And the surrounding world became bright red again, everyone's face became very ferocious, and their mouth revealed fangs. These people hate you, even if you have helped them and fought for them. The black shadow said to Li Fan, in this world, there are no heroes, only murderers. No matter how much you do, when you can't satisfy their needs, you will become a different species in their eyes, or even an enemy. They would condemn you in words and in writing, making you worthless, thus showing off their strength. Is it really worth it to sacrifice yourself for these people? This is my own choice. Li Fan didn't speak, he only needed a thought, and the black shadow would know what he was thinking. Heart demon, you can't control me. Don't tell me you are willing to be controlled by these people. The heart demon suddenly appeared beside Li Fan, replacing Xiao Bai to sit there, and grinned at Li Fan, you can become very powerful, he. As long as you are willing to listen to your heart, no one is your opponent. Without relying on you, I can also become stronger. No, you must rely on me. Dream on, Li Fan clasped his hands together, and cleared his mind. He recalled the appearance of the old monk in meditation, and used this opportunity to clear his heart demon. Even if you suppress me, you can't change your heart. The heart demon let out a series of roars, listen to me. I am you, and you will become stronger. Li Fan silently chanted the Heart Sutra, Sarira, form is not different from emptiness, emptiness is not different from form is emptiness, emptiness is form. The heart demon let out a few screams, and slowly disappeared in front of Li Fan. Chapter 322. After returning home, Li Fan had been copying the Heart Sutra. He did not have much research on Buddhism, but he had some understanding of the Heart Sutra. This was because when he was in junior high, a language teacher loved Buddhist scriptures and talked to him a little. He could not remember anything else, but he had some impression of the Heart Sutra. Once he reached home, Li Fan first copied the Heart Sutra 30 times. He had to say that this Buddhist Dharma was broad and profound, and it was also very useful for cultivating one's mind. After Li Fan finished writing the Heart Sutra, he practiced the fist twice before he felt a little better. If he had known earlier, he would have studied more Buddhist Dharma. This way, it would also be very useful for suppressing his inner demon. Li Fan's talent was abnormal bone changing, not inner demon as one. Otherwise, if he used the inner demon, it would also seem quite powerful. The battle with Murong's disciple that day was still vivid in Li Fan's mind. After practicing the fist twice, Li Fan took a hot shower with a body full of sweat. Finally, he returned to the room and sat cross-legged on the rope. Although this rope was very thin, it was not a difficult thing for the current Li Fan. He sat cross-legged on it, like an old monk meditating, motionless. At the same time, he silently recited the complete Heart Sutra that he had memorized. With the improvement of his martial arts, the inner demon's entanglement with Li Fan became more and more intense. And the arrival of Murong's love almost lit a little flame of passion for the inner demon. Li Fan had to strengthen the training of his state of mind to be able to resist this inner demon. Just as he was about to fall asleep from reciting and drowsiness hit him, a fragrant wind blew in front of him. Li Fan opened his eyes slightly and saw Murong's love pushing the door open and walking into the room. Li Fan almost spat out a mouthful of blood. Today, Murong's love was actually wearing a chiffon, with a faintly discernible black underwear. It looked very flirtatious and very tempting. After wearing this kind of clothing, the temptation was 100 times stronger than not wearing it. With such seductive clothes, figure, and Murong's angelic face, she was definitely a killer weapon against men. "Murong AI, what do you want?" Li Fan berated in a deep voice. "Brother-in-law, hubby, I just learned a hot dance. How about I show you?" "Not good. Brother-in-law, hubby, don't be shy. I'll dance for you." "Damn it, I clearly said no. Don't ask me if you've made up your mind." Li Fan's heart is breaking down, but Murong doesn't care about Li Fan anymore, twisting and turning in front of her. He had to admit that the dance moves were really hot. On top of that, Murong loved her own beauty, and this chiffon. To a boy who had yet to experience the ways of the world, this was definitely a nuclear bomb level of lethality. Murong AI, this girl, where did she learn this kind of dance from? That black shadow appeared in front of Li Fan again, standing beside Murong AI, caressing Murong AI's delicate body wantonly, and shouting at him. "What are you waiting for? Go on, fuck this hot girl, suck her dry." Damn this demon, at this time, it came out to join in the fun again. Li Fan bit his lips, restraining his impulse. It ba, out of sight, out of mind. Li Fan simply closed his eyes, not looking at Murong AI's hot dance. And Murong AI seemed to have expected this. She smiled and moved closer to Li Fan from time to time. Even if he closed his eyes, the faint fragrance of Murong AI's body was still drilling into his nose, making Li Fan itch. Not only that, Murong AI kept moving forward, sticking close to Li Fan's body, constantly rubbing against Li Fan's body. After all, there was only a layer of chiffon between them. Li Fan could even feel the temperature of Murong AI's soft skin. It was really difficult for a normal man to resist this kind of temptation. Li Fan resisted the hysterical demon in his ears, trying his best to forget everything. "Brother-in-law. Husband. Open your eyes and take a look. My dance is very beautiful. Do you want to touch and feel it?" He could still hear Murong AI's teasing voice in his ears. "Heart Sutra, yes, I still have the Heart Sutra." When Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva was deep in the Prajnaparamita, he saw that the 5 skandhas were empty, and he passed through all suffering. Li Fan immersed himself in the Buddhist teachings of the Heart Sutra, even more seriously than when he was copying the sutra. As he studied the Heart Sutra over and over again, he suddenly felt that the Buddhist sutra seemed to come to life. In his mind, there seemed to be a golden bodhisattva sitting in front of him, with one hand gently pressed on the top of his head. Following that, it was as if countless wisdom was instilled into his mind, making Li Fan's mind suddenly clear, and his heart was incomparably calm. All the hustle and bustle, as well as the allure of women, all of it had left him at this moment. Wisdom imbuement. This phrase originally came from the Buddhist language, which meant that the Buddha instilled great wisdom and enlightenment into people. At that moment, Li Fan also seemed to have an epiphany, and the voice of the demon in his heart also completely dissipated in his ears. That Murong AI was still trying hard to dance, but she finally seemed to be a little impatient. She simply went forward and stretched out her hand to take off Li Fan's pants. However, Li Fan suddenly opened his eyes, which seemed to emit 2 rays of golden light. Ape. Face. Buddha. At that moment, Murong AI felt that she saw the illusion of the Buddha sitting behind Li Fan, staring at her with a dignified gaze. Li Fan only stretched out a hand and slapped the air in front of Murong AI. Palm of mercy. Murong AI's hair was blown up, and the wall behind her suddenly cracked, revealing a palm print. On the palm print, there was a fly perched on it. The fly flapped its wings and flew away. This was the palm technique of the ape-faced Buddha that Li Fan had comprehended. The swift and fierce palm wind also carried a sense of benevolence. Although this palm did not kill Murong AI, it was as if it had slapped her heart. Murong Ai took 2 steps back and knelt on the ground, staring blankly at Li Fan in front of her. Li Fan was like an old monk in meditation, looking at her solemnly. There was an invisible sense of rejection in his body, but also some holiness, making it impossible for her to approach him. "Get out!" Li Fan scolded. Murong Ai did not hesitate, lowered her head, and left dejectedly. She closed the door, as if she had never been there. Only the palm print on the wall was still a record of what had happened before. Li Fan let out a long breath, and the Buddhist light on his body seemed to disperse. Ape-faced Buddha, at the critical moment, he had actually comprehended some Buddhist dharma, and had also activated the highest form of the ape strike. He really did not know whether to thank Murong Ai or scold Murong Ai. But no matter what, at least the demon in his heart was suppressed, and it was a small reward. Hopefully, Murong Ai would not make any more trouble tonight. Chapter 323. Li Fan's 7 gallant fists had already awakened 6 of its ultimate moves. Black Tiger Emperor, Lightning Deer, Bear Cavalry, Ape-faced Buddha, Sky-swallowing Toad, and Dragon King Snake. There was still one more advanced form of Crane Strike that he had yet to comprehend. When he comprehended the highest form of Crane Strike, his strength would probably increase by another level. Li Fan had finally managed to scare Murong Love away temporarily, but he did not know what kind of move she would use next time. After comprehending the ape-faced Buddha, Li Fan's inner demon had completely calmed down. Only Li Fan was left in the room. He wanted to find a way to comprehend Crane Strike, but he had no idea. Li Fan could only put it aside for now. When it came to martial arts, haste makes waste. It was better to take it one step at a time. After practicing martial arts for less than a year, he had already turned from a newbie to an expert. This kind of progress was unimaginable to ordinary people. All of this was due to his pure yang constitution. If he did not have the pure yang constitution, he might still be a little high school student, struggling for every exam. That kind of life was too boring. The world of martial arts was where he belonged. It seemed that this joust for a spouse really was worth a trip for. But when he thought of his family's jealous chief, Li Fan dismissed the idea. He would let Guan Wenbao and Yan Kai participate. Both of them were strong enough to make Phenomenal Express famous. Li Fan was a little excited when he thought of Phenomenal Express coming out from the shadows. Li Fan finally felt a little sleepy, and the air seemed to have become very fragrant. Slowly and leisurely, he entered dreamland just like that. When Li Fan opened his eyes again, he found himself tied to the bed in the guest room. The chains that locked him were at least as thick as 2 fingers. Li Fan tugged hard, but he could only feel pain in his wrists. He could not break free at all. Murong Love! Li Fan roared. Murong Love's beautiful face moved closer to him. "Dear brother-in-law and husband, did you sleep well last night?" Looking at her smiling face, Li Fan seemed to think of something. "What method did you use?" "Ayaya, it's just a little sleeping powder to help me sleep." Murong winked at Li Fan. "What do you want?" Realizing that his clothes had been stripped off, Li Fan had a bad feeling. "Brother-in-law, your husband kept rejecting me, so I had to use force." As Murong spoke, she took out a syringe and drew out some kind of crystal-clear liquid from a small bottle. "This is the latest aphrodisiac in the United States. As long as you give your husband an injection, he will be able to last for 3 days and 3 nights." It was unknown how many wealthy people flocked to this kind of medicine. After all, there were no side effects. So, brother-in-law and husband don't need to worry. "Don't worry, just 1 injection will do." "Don't worry my ass." Li Fan couldn't help but roar, "The side effects of this broken thing of yours are so great that I'll have to pay with my life." "Brother-in-law, don't worry." Murong looked at Li Fan with a smile. "At the last moment, I guarantee that you will be happy." "Hee hee, do you want me to go to the underworld with a smile?" That's right, that's right." Brother-in-law is so smart. Murong Ai giggled as she looked at Li Fan, her fingers moving back and forth on his chest. I can't bear to see brother-in-law's husband die. Then be a good girl and eat your breakfast. Li Fan sneered, it's not too late for you to stop now. I can pretend that none of this happened. That won't do. Brother-in-law. Murong Ai said seriously. Ever since I was young, I've always wanted what I wanted, so I had to get it. If I can't get it, I must destroy it. You're really spoiled. Li Fan frowned, if I were your father, I would definitely spank your butt. So brother-in-law likes to play this kind of game? Murong nodded, lying beside Li Fan and whispered in his ear, Dad. Your daughter wants. Fuck. Li Fan had the urge to vomit blood. It must be said that men are indeed animals that think with the lower half of their body. With Murong doing this, coupled with the state she should be in the morning, Li Fan really couldn't control himself. Murong, love. Li Fan suddenly roared like a tiger, the magical sound rushed into Murong's eardrums. Murong Ai shuddered from the shock. Her eardrums hurt, and her heart raced. Brother-in-law. Why are you still struggling at this time? Murong couldn't help but complain, you're going to be a person soon, don't be stubborn. Even if you scream your throat hoarse, no one will come to save you. I'll give you one last chance. Li Fan glared at Murong, looking at the needle in her hand, if you don't stop, I won't be polite anymore. Brother-in-law, husband, you really know how to joke. Murong laughed happily, you're already like this, being trampled on by others, how can you still say such big words? Murong, you look down on me. Li Fan snorted, I've already given you a chance, but you didn't cherish it. With that, Li Fan opened his palm. Although he was chained, he didn't need to do anything. Swallow. God. Toad. Li Fan could clearly feel every inch of true qi flowing, as if he was feeling his own body. A large amount of true qi was released from his palm, attacking Murong's body, directly blowing away Murong's love. Murong's body was directly hanging on the wall behind her. Li Fan's true qi was on her body, making Murong unable to come down. Little girl, do you really think you can trap me like this? Li Fan shook his true qi, causing the chain to make a loud clanging sound, as if it was directly knocking on Murong's heart, causing her heart to tremble. This was just the beginning. Li Fan shook his true qi again, causing the chain to make another loud sound. After 7 to 8 consecutive times, the chain finally broke into two with a bang. After breaking free from one hand, Li Fan used one hand to crush the other end of the chain, then sat up and broke the chain on his feet. He continued to release true qi with one hand, pressuring Murong's body, and then said, Are you ready to accept your punishment? Little girl. Brother-in-law. I'm so cute. You definitely can't bear to hurt me, right? Of course not. Li Fan sneered, Your sister, your father are not here, no one can save you this time. Looking at Li Fan's smile, Murong's heart turned cold. Chapter 324. Li Fan's smile doesn't look like a good person's smile. Even Murong felt scared. But when she heard Li Fan's words, she suddenly thought of something and shouted. If you dare to touch me, my father and my sister will not let you off. Really? Li Fan laughed, I can quietly kill you and then chop you into dumpling stuffing and make it into dinner. When your sister comes back, we will eat you together. And I can say that you went home by yourself. At that time, your disappearance will probably be blamed on those who have enmity with your Murong family, right? Li Fan's words made Murong's body twitch. Too scary. How could he think of such a scary idea? I was wrong. I don't want to die. Brother-in-law, let me go. I won't dare to mess around anymore. Murong was scared by Li Fan to the point of crying. But Li Fan saw a trace of slyness in her eyes. This little girl was probably still plotting something. Hee hee, if I don't teach you a lesson, it seems like you won't understand. As Li Fan spoke, he turned his palm, and Murong Ai's body immediately turned upside down. She leaned against the wall, but her buttocks were raised high. Brother-in-law. What are you doing? I'm making up for the education that you didn't receive. As Li Fan spoke, he raised his right hand. Alien bone swap. His arm became a lot thicker, like a strong man's arm. He slapped Murong's butt hard. Pa! That crisp sound was like the sound of firecrackers. It was very pleasing to the ear. Murong screamed in pain. At the same time, her body shook. My God! I was actually beaten. I have never been beaten before, but I was actually beaten. Murong Ai had always been spoiled since she was a child. Her father had never even touched a single hair on her body. But this Li Fan, he actually hit him. Who does he think he is? Li Fan, you bastard, how dare you touch me? I won't let you off. Io, you don't call me brother-in-law anymore. Li Fan smiled. You don't know your manners now, little friend. Li Fan. I am the second miss of the Murong family. If you make a move on me, my family will not let you off. My sister is the leader of the martial arts world, and my father is the supreme martial artist. They're all quite powerful. Li Fan nodded and gave Murong another slap. It felt good. This little girl, except for her breasts, the other parts of her body had developed quite well. What about you? And who do you think you are? A second miss who bullies others with her power. I didn't. You bastard. Murong loves to shout, when I absorb you, I will be number one in the world. At that time, even my sister will have to look up to me. What kind of strength is stolen? Li Fan gave Murong another slap. You only know a bit of crafty plots, what are you shouting for? A little girl, not learning something good, thinking of sitting back and enjoying the fruits of others' labor. In your dreams, even I have experienced many life and death situations to reach my current level. How could I give you this kind of skill that I risked my life to obtain, stinky girl? With that, Li Fan gave Murong another slap. Murong Ai was infuriated by these slaps. Damn Li Fan, how long was he going to keep slapping? When I regain my freedom, I must kill him. I'm standing here, pure young body, come and get it. Murong loves to hear Li Fan's voice. Her body trembled in anger. Her butt is swollen and painful, as if it's on fire, making Murong loves not only physically, but also psychologically. How long do you want to hit, bastard? Let's fight until tomorrow morning. Bastard, don't you want to go to class? How can class be more interesting than spanking your butt? Li Fan chuckled, I go to class every day, but the fun of spanking isn't something that I can have at any time. Li Fan, I'll fight it out with you. Ah! Every time Murong loves to shout, she will be slapped by Li Fan. Every time she scolds, she will feel more pain. In the end, Li Fan suddenly stops spanking Murong. Instead, he carries her out of the bedroom. What are you doing? Murong love's acupuncture points are sealed by Li Fan with true qi, making her unable to move. She is thrown into the courtyard by Li Fan, lying on the cold ground. Li Fan picked up a shovel and dug the ground beside him, slowly digging a deep pit. What are you doing? Although her body can't move, her mouth can still speak. Looking at Li Fan's action, Murong love's heart is getting heavier and heavier. To build a new home for you. Li Fan points to the hole he is digging. I think, with your character, you should be able to do well down there. You're crazy. You asked for it. Li Fan starts to sneer, do you know how to be buried alive? It means to throw you into this hole and then bury you with sand. You can't move, can't shout, can only wait for death in the darkness and despair. No, don't. This time Li Fan's words really scare Murong loves. Brother-in-law, I really know my mistake. Brother-in-law, please let me go. Your words that go against your heart are useless against me. Li Fan is merciless, you are just a trouble to me. If I keep you, there will be endless troubles in the future. If I kill you, I can live a good life. Hu, brother-in-law, don't kill me, I will listen to you in the future. Really? Li Fan raises his eyebrows. Really, I can be your slave, as long as you let me go. Murong nods her head again and again, but Li Fan is full of distrust towards her words. Just in time, try this. Li Fan's hands form a circle, and a mass of true qi condenses in front of him. This true qi power makes Murong surprised. How is this the power of a human? The degree of true qi compression, I'm afraid it's on the same level as my father. How can a mere Li Fan do all this? As for Li Fan's true qi, it suddenly turned a little black, as if it had been infected by some virus. What is this? Without waiting for Murong to understand, Li Fan suddenly stretches out his hand and slaps this true qi into her body. That true qi is like a small worm, following Murong's meridians, it instantly lurks into her heart. This is a new move that Li Fan created based on the last time he was poisoned, it is very vicious. As long as his true qi reaches the heart, it is like a poison, it can take the other's life at any time. Murong obviously feels this pressure as her face turns pale. You're tuning into the Blissful Bookshelf YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.